Hello, and welcome to Geek Space TV. I don't quite know what happened, but I appreciate that we all paused that same moment. It's wonderful to see all of you here. I hope you are excited for a brand new episode of our show, Worlds Beyond, using the Cypher system from Monty Cook Games. I nearly said from Geek Space TV. That's wrong, because we're Geek Space TV, and we did not create this system, but we are using it, and we like it. It's a lot of fun. For example, I think 3 out of 5 of them leveled up in when they came here. Yeah, in less than a minute. Janine was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so much work. I'm gonna have to look through 3 books."
That's
Like a
Shadowrun.
paragraph.
I did the same, oh no! And then I got here and I was like, oh wait, it's these things. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. That's cool.
It's not so much a level up as an advancement, but it's a spending of the XP. It's a very sleek system in terms of character improvement.
This table did their homework.
Yep, they did.
Good job,
This
guys.
table gets gold stars.
This is
Raining gold stars!
We get to choose the toys for recess.
what the hell? What kind of a
Yeah,
life is this?
they get to pick first on the break which choice.
I choose inside option.
No, but the sweet.
Hookworm Adventures 2.
inside.
Oh no, you were a swing kid. I would have been all over that inside option.
I hugged the giant California Raisin Man in the library.
Swings, yes. I almost broke my leg once from there.
Jumping off?
Yeah, the jumping off when you try to
No, we're not.
as high
We're
as
talking.
possible.
Yeah.
It was a rainy day.
The California Raisin.
Wait, did you slide? Did you spring?
No,
was a
I
plushie.
kind of spread. Oh, I was just a really bad sports kid.
Yep, I feel that.
Thank you. I'm glad.
I tried to do the flip off this, where you do the jump, but instead of doing a jump, you just sort of
I feel like that didn't end well for you.
No, it did not. On the plus side, I am still okay for the most part.
Nice.
So.
Good.
Yeah.
So, now that you know these little tidbits about our childhood, welcome to Geek Space TV. We're a nonprofit broadcasting studio in the Seattle area. I don't really have any major announcements for you other than next week we will have Eat, Pray, Kill happening again on Monday night. Is that next week? Next
Yes.
week's not your break. Yeah. No, it's happening next week. I'm the one who keeps track of the schedule. And I therefore should be the one to remember when their night off is. And I know it's coming out, but I can't remember. Dates are hard. But anyway, that's pretty much the only announcement. We also are a nonprofit, and we do rely on and utilize your donations in order to pay the people to be here. So if you donate during the show, you'll see that number beneath me increase. I will also read out those donations at the break, and then again at the end of the show, and we will be eternally grateful. Alternatively, if you would like to set up some sort of monthly recurring donation, we have a Patreon page. You can go over there, get access to some sweet behind-the-scenes rewardy goodness, like cool Polaroid photos and other silliness that our mail professional will mail to you. Very
Put
good.
it in the envelope. Envelope goes out of here. Bada bing, bada boom, gets to your house.
Mail!
Beyonce. I love that. I love
that's
that.
good.
So
You
much.
can respond Jay-Z. You can respond Solange.
Wait, I
You
don't
respond
understand.
dirty computer? Is that appropriate? I like.
What?
Yeah.
I think this is instead of saying like bless you or gesundheit, you say
Oh,
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Oh, because she is she is
Well.
an angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and a goddess among people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
all these answers.
you know.
No, I like it. I'm on board.
I can't wait. 500 years, they're gonna find pictures of
you
Beyonce
have
in the
to
rubble
say-
of the afterlife, and they're gonna be like, the new goddess of Beyonce, and they're gonna
That makes sense.
They worshipped Beyonce.
No, I follow her. I follow.
Everybody will be like this.
I feel like
and
this
praise all the single ladies.
There'll be great big hats.
Oh,
I'm gonna just write down a new recursion real
There you
fast.
go.
Beyonce.
Beyonce-verse.
I feel like she's big enough to warrant some fictional leakage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so then
Yes,
can
please.
we get Lady Gaga universe as well?
Yeah.
I assume they're just like she's a patron saint of the Beyonce
patron saint of
order.
the Beyonce is Lady Gaga.
Probably, she's like the moon that orbits Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are
She's like-
clips. It's
Welcome
a
to Worlds
telephone.
Beyond.
Oh, yeah, welcome to World Beyond.
I let them go. I let them run away with it.
Now we're all thinking about all the other.
Yeah, no, but see now we're all generating ideas for recursions, which is in its own way how recursions are created.
Welcome to the
Which-
Big Frida Galaxy.
Did you say Frito?
Frida.
Big
Oh, Frito.
I was like, okay, cool. I want the Cheeto
A
Galaxy to
snack.
happen.
Disney Galaxy.
We're using the Strange setting, which is a setting for the Cypher system. And in this setting, imagine, as you will, that Earth is floating among a void called the Strange. That void is like space, but is not space. Is instead a strange sort of energy mass network that does really weird things to you if you go in it. But we are protected from this world by this myriad of fictional pocket dimensions that are around us called recursions. And they keep us safe from giant planet-eating monsters that would try and consume us. And really, the job of our characters is to make sure that never happens because things would end poorly. And then we would be looking through the rubble of the afterlife for the remnants of our world. They can travel through these worlds because they are estate agents. They work for an organization called the Estate, and they have special powers and abilities, some of which change when they travel to these new worlds. So far, they have gone after an individual named Quinn Sharp who had gotten something. He had disappeared in a place called Arden, a sort of MMO high fantasy styled recursion. Oh, that's legit what it looks like.
yeah.
They ended up finding him. He had been kidnapped by a bunch of people who had this weird symbol on all of their cloaks and called themselves working for False Harbinger. Then they made it back to Earth. They had a brief stint in a small, very small pocket dimension, a brand new recursion that they had found a recursion key for. It looked totally fine on the surface, nothing weird at all about it. A Victorian-style house, 1950s housewife, very pleased to see all of them.
And we committed genocide.
Turned out she was a giant human-eating, half-arachnid woman that had trapped them in this house and intended to eat them.
But we don't judge.
No, we don't touch, but they do murder.
Kill.
With fire.
We killed them all.
So they killed her.
we did.
And fun fact, all of her children, which is what the spiders were. So you murdered all her children, and then you killed her.
I mean, considering what we did back in Arden the last time we were there, that feels appropriate.
You
Wait.
murdered a few people in Arden. That's
Wait,
true.
really? You guys murdered people?
Oh, we ran
Yeah.
up after the stair. We ran up the stairs after that poor woman.
No one
Yeah.
escapes.
We
Yeah. Pine was
won.
like, no, she
Yeah.
doesn't get away. I am going to go kill her. Everyone else was like,
I'm
probably
sure
gonna
that's
leave.
in some sort of report Jade will eventually read.
There's probably like a rating of like morality, bloodthirsty. Like it's like one of those like
Tied together. Needless violence. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a little off the scale. There was
laughter without slaughter.
Oh, she also trapped them in like dream dimensions of their own construction. So we got little glimpses into the horrible, into the lives of these characters and the tragedies that they have been through. Not horrible lives, sometimes just emotional and poignant and tragic. And then they were rudely awoken by being wrapped up in giant spider webs. Anyway, killed it with fire. It's all good. They have now since returned to Earth. So with that, let's introduce who these wonderful people are, and then we'll place them within our world. Do I have someone who would like to go first? Do it.
Hey, it's your
You can also-
boy.
yeah, who are you two?
It's me, Keith and Nathaniel. What is Kiss? And I am playing Oswald Osduke, the group's worrywart and loving father, maybe. He, him.
Baby.
I'm Jakadash, Jakidash. Thank you. And my pronoun is she, and it's her, she, her. But I am playing Pine Knight, or in the pines when the sky was night. I took my first breath. That's a long time. I just took a breath. But he goes by he, him. He is a knight of the order from the so much information.
Land of Zanzut.
The Republic of Sansut is the entire like continent, and then Trinog is the castle within the woods, which is where Pine and the Sage will live.
Hello, I am Janine. I am Admiral Asma, and I'm playing Captain Jade Atwood. She, her, and clever vector who adapts to all environments.
Nice way to use the systems descriptor for your character.
Oh,
If you want to play and look it up.
it's actually
It's
pretty
really, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shell Game. You can find me on Twitter or on Instagram at the Shell Game. And I am playing Anon Nisi. She is a very diplomatic individual who will charm the pants off of you if you turn around. Or don't,
Both
really.
literally and metaphorically. And what is she's a blah blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
right. She's a very appealing paradox.
And we'll find out who she is when we get to the place.
Yes, true. I haven't revealed that yet, I think.
All good.
I don't think anyone knows. Maybe? Maybe
No
some
one
people
knows,
do.
actually.
No.
Oh, maybe I
I
just
might.
revealed to Wikia.
I don't
You might check Wikia.
And who do we have over here?
Oh, hello. I'm Bonsai. I am Bonsai Baby on Twitch. I'm Bonsai Baby on Instagram and on the Twitters. And I play Dale Fink. Him. And
Oh, shoot. Oh, keep going.
oh yes. Okay, but yes. Also, these people want to keep information from you, but I will not. I will tell you all.
That seems like a lie, Dale. I feel like you don't tell anyone anything.
Maybe.
I will just read your notes.
No, it's okay. Never mind. I actually don't tell all. Never mind. I don't know anything. You don't know anything. We all don't know anything. The moon isn't real.
What?
That is such a shame. Anon is she, her. Sorry.
and Dale is
Yep.
You said him. That's right, him.
Yes,
him.
him.
I am Random Tuesday. I use she, her pronouns. I will be your GM for this evening. And as a quick reminder, thank you for reminding me Monty Cook Games, because you told me about this and then I forgot to talk about it. I talked about it last week, but in this there is a massive sale going on for all of the strange materials. If you would like to play this version of the Cypher system, you can purchase it on Monty Cook's website. They are wonderful human beings. Go support them. Another Seattle-based company. We like them. Also, related to that, it is compatible with all of the other Cypher system materials. So, for example, if you're like, man, the Strange doesn't have the exact creature that I want to use, but this other version of the Cypher system does, you can just plug and play. Good to go. It's not like I've done that at all. That's where I got the giant spiders from.
I like the giant spiders. I thought they were interesting.
So go check that out on, I believe it's montecookgames.com, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. So with that, we are at the estate. The estate is in Seattle. As I have learned, if you are a game company that works out of Seattle, you make all of your games based in Seattle. It's great. It's really convenient for us. So the estate located in the lovely, occasionally rainy city of Seattle. And it's a kind of a large campus, so some of you might have been in your dorms, some of you might be, we clarified a few of that you live off site, but you've had a little bit of downtime since getting back from the mansion, the recursion that you were just at. And eventually you'll be approached, but in terms of getting a new mission, but in that downtime, is there anything any of your characters would have liked to have done or be doing?
Researching all of my teammates.
Okay. Okay. What's Dale's method for going about learning about these other 4 people? Like, how does he approach this problem?
I'm in the facility,
Mm-hmm.
and all computers are connected. All computers are connected.
Sure. Yeah.
It just takes a little bit of finagling, maybe crawling in spaces.
Oh, so you're trying to hack, right? Or are you trying to physically break in somewhere?
Hack.
Okay. So you're trying to sit down at like a computer in the library, because there's kind of there's multiple buildings. So there's like the dorm buildings, there's
Could
the
I
offices.
do a combination of crawl into a crawl space where the connection is most connected?
So you're trying to get to like a server room?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be somewhat elaborate because we'll kind of have to go through a series of
No
roles
worries,
of
you
like,
can go with
Dale, no, it's totally fine. But like Dale getting into the server room and then getting into the actual computer system and trying to uncover
If I'm
information.
working with these people enough, I don't know more about.
Yeah, it's very reasonable. Anyone else for anything else?
I also want to do some computer stuff, and I'll look at the drive I received.
Right. Yes, you basically got a thumb drive of
Riley.
information about Luxembourg.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And you've decided Oz is living off site, right? He's
Yes.
kind of got like a little studio, 1-bedroom apartment. I don't know how fancy he's feeling.
Oh, it's very minimalist.
It's very minimalist. So you kind of pull it out, plug it into a laptop. The information that's on there, probably the first thing that Oz notices is it's sort of disappointingly sparse. It's about like a couple of documents. There's some stuff there that is sort of comforting in the sense like there are pictures of the city. In fact, there's like a whole Google Maps like satellite view of the city. There's a lot of information about it that all looks really familiar to you. And then there's corresponding images that show the city not existing. So there's kind of a lot of information that just corroborates what you already know to be true.
It's just like an agent standing in a spot like inside Lexingburg. It's like, oh, here's this general store. And
Yeah,
and
and
it's
then-
like, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
Who's
it's
doing this?
you know, it's like the like topograph, like a satellite image, like showing the exact same area, and like here's a river, or like here's a road that, and then like the road's still here, but like the whole city is not here, and now it's just like a highway. So kind of showing that it really, like there is evidence, at least in these images, that it existed. And then there is just kind of a one-page report, and the report essentially reads as, in the sort of TLDR, is the city existed, and a completely unknown cause resulted in the entire city disappearing. And then there's some sort of hypotheses, a potential like strange portal opened up. Actually, wait, let me pull it. I wrote this down on a separate sheet. It wasn't an entirely unknown cause. I think they actually do know. Yes.
Oh.
They don't know what caused the thing, but they know what caused the city to disappear. It was a fractal vortex. And then there's a series of images that you see, which essentially looks like a sort of, the best way to describe it would be a giant, like a supercell storm with a bunch of, like a massive vortexy tornado. It's kind of like a tornado made of electricity that just is around the entire city. And there's like a before, there's kind of a series of images showing this whole thing appearing. And then like they get all fuzzy and it looks like whatever it was that was taking the pictures gets destroyed at some point or something happens to it. You think it might have been like a drone or a satellite or something. And they like data, like images recovered and there's like some grainy and hazy ones. But the cause of the fractal vortex is unknown. And then it says the city has likely been translated into another recursion if it survived.
Uh-oh.
That was me putting it in my desk.
Yeah.
No, that was great mind work.
Yes.
So you can. They don't describe what a fractal vortex is because they're assuming whoever's reading this may know, which is sort of their bad on being like Oz knows what that is. So you can go learn a little bit more about that, and then there's just kind of a lot of serious questions like, can this be undone? What recursion is this in? What caused the fractal vortex?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Anyone else? We can jump to the break-in.
Jade just disappears for a couple days. You get the impression she's bopping around, traveling, but she doesn't really say what's going on.
Inan definitely like knocked on her door a couple of times just
Pine
to say
did the
hello. And I assume at one point as she's like knocking on her door, like Pine is coming up the hallway.
Yeah. Pine's wearing like what is the estate's gym gear. So you know it's like the black, not tank top, but like
a
black
tracksuit and like a t-shirt.
Yeah,
like
but it's
track
got like
bottoms.
estate agent, and then on the back it's like
Yeah.
wacky in 2018 or something. You know what I mean?
It was the thing.
Oh, like they have like summer camp shirts.
Yeah, like they had like a company retreat,
Oh.
and this is an extra
This
for
is
the
like the
company
teacher.
retreat.
Sure.
Yeah, and like low-key Pine looks very good. Low-key,
Low-key.
low-key,
Oh,
high
hi.
ponytail. Cause you know how else you
Like
gonna do
high
it.
Loki,
ponytail?
like
like
looks Loki good.
LOWKEY, like
Just
But
low-
also probably
like
as good
he
as
comes around the corner and Inan's like,
oh.
"Oh, hi.
Anon who can make words twist from others' mouths.
Goodness, I like that name."
It is fair. Captain, is
Not
Captain
here.
here?
No. At least not responding to any knocks. Not for the last 3 days or so. Have you heard anything?
No, but 3 days is too long. And like Pine goes through the door and tries to open it.
Locked, I presume. Do you live at the estate, or is this your?
I have a room there,
Okay.
and
You
there's
probably
not
have
much in
somewhere
it. So I mean, I'm sure that
Pine is not gonna.
It's locked. Does Pine choose to try and break down the door?
Pine does choose to try to break down
Okay.
the door.
This is not easy because they make secure doors at the estate, so this is going to be challenging.
Okay.
So right now you need to roll a 15 or higher.
So Anon at first is like, and then she's like,
And is this a might?
This is definitely might.
Have
All
your
right.
fingerprints on it.
Here's what I'd like to do. I have just
Why get in the
recently
way?
used 4 experience points to level up my effort skill. And what that means is I can drop down things. This is like a learning
That's
technique.
good. You know
I
how
can
many
now-
levels of effort
I
can you apply?
I can have 2 levels of effort, which means I can drop something down twice. So what could have been challenging is now just demanding.
Okay. So, and that costs you 5 points
does
from your
take-
might pool.
Yes.
Minus
So
your edge.
And I assumed I healed from the last time, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
you guys are all fully healed up.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm laughing since somebody's talking about Wolfblade.
I missed it by 1.
You got an 8.
I got an 8.
Okay, what does
Ah.
this look like as Pine attempts to
I
open this
thought-
pretty,
the
like
door.
a dead-bolted, sturdy door?
I think Pine reaches for it and just goes, and then like shoulder pops it, and I think it's by the big lock, but doesn't break the chain. So it goes in and it's
you know, I believe that.
Yeah, there's like a
she's-
little bit of a give, but not quite enough that like the deadbolt's still in the wall, like in the door. You might have dented a little bit. You'll see like a little kind of bump on the inside when you get back that looks like the deadbolt got shoved into the wall a little bit.
I'm impressed
I
by the
mean,
makers of this
I
place.
would have been disappointed if they didn't try.
Didn't at least try.
disappointed. Well,
I just worry. Jade, Captain Jade, just while terrifyingly terrible in strength of might, I believe the strange has her by a hold that I do not quite understand.
I would agree. I mean, it seems as though she's deeply connected. On the other hand, she's been doing this for a while, and my understanding from the people who talk while getting coffee, there are quite a few people who are willing to talk while filling their coffee cups. It
No, that's
seems
just
that
you.
Spent a lot of time in the cafeteria.
people are really happy with coffee.
People are very happy with you.
Well, I suppose. But the point is, I believe that she's out exploring as people are off to do.
The more you explore, the more likely you are to get into trouble. I just worry.
You are very kind to worry.
Yes, I will go back to training. I will see you for the next mission.
Oh, so soon? You don't want a cup of coffee?
I haven't gotten used to it. It's a little bit too strong.
Of course. Enjoy your training.
Thanks. Enjoy your
Socializing.
her to watch. Socializing. Yeah. Oh, I am going to be bold. And like Pine looks a little bit like can tell like he's got like the little smirk on the side of his face. It's like I'm not so sure it's conversating. It's a little bit more like interrogating.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I don't threaten them.
Not with actions.
You're smarter than you look.
I was like,
See the gears turn. in
yeah.
Pine's head.
I think Pine was just like, and just doesn't say anything and instead just walks away.
And I just
Eventually
watch us
moving
and
into the
go.
jog, like
Yeah.
it moves into the light jog afterwards.
Anon appreciates that.
Okay. The break-in. So we'll say you start in the library.
I was already lit in. I wouldn't say great.
You're led into one of the buildings, but you're probably trying to get into like one of the server rooms. The ductwork isn't gonna necessarily. Yeah, you're probably not gonna easily fit through like ducts. And if you did, the ones that would be big enough would just be like air ones. They wouldn't connect you to anything.
Okay.
But you can like. You do that thing where you like look where all the cables go, and then you're like, you follow them along the wall and kind of out a corridor, and then you see them. They go into like this closet, like you can tell through the ceiling, and there's like a locked door into a room that you assume has a bunch of servers in it.
Ooh, okay. So what does it have a key card swipe?
Yeah, we'll say it does. It's probably like got it's probably got a regular lock, but it also probably has like a key swipe, so it'll do
I
either
have
one.
computer science.
Mm-hmm.
Can I somehow finagle like one of these like my phone?
Trying to like fake the RFID on your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll say that's something you can probably do. It's gonna probably be harder than it would be because like you don't have access to one of their cards. So if you got someone's card,
I don't. But
then
I don't know
that
how
would
long-
make it easier because you could just kind of clone it or obviously use it. You could potentially try and do like a
But that's more
swipey boop.
steps.
Yeah, while you're like looking in front of it, you could like pull the cover off and just mess with the wiring on the inside.
Oh, I could do that. But then that would leave evidence that I was here.
You could like bust down the door.
No.
You can try and just like hang out and wait till someone comes in and see if you can sneak in with them. You can attempt to like hack in like on your phone, sort of remotely connecting to it.
I'm
That's
gonna
also
try
probably
going
an
through
option.
my phone.
Okay.
It'll be harder, but
Yeah, it'll make it harder. So we'll say this is definitely challenging. So 15 or higher.
Even with the computer science.
That's your skill, so you drop it down by 1.
Yeah.
So that'll make it 4 difficulty,
So
12
that's
or higher.
12 or higher. And then let's go ahead and spend some effort.
Okay.
That's my 1 effort. And so that will drop it down to 9.
Yep.
Come on. Need some information. Yes, 9.
Exactly 9. It's
Exactly
like you're
9.
standing there and you're like, and you're hacking. You're hacking.
This is how you hack.
Yeah. How does Dale hack? How does Dale hack?
Dell hacks like an 80s movie, like maybe he has like
Yes.
a keyboard on
Yes.
his wrist and he goes,
Yes.
I connect my phone and then go,
It's like a one-hand keyboard.
yes, a one-handed keyboard that he keeps in there and he connects to all with a wire that connects
Cool.
into things.
Yeah,
Really
so you like put your phone in front of it and you kind of get a scan. You're like, okay, it's an RFID, and then you're sort of like using that information to try and read it to see if you can create a fake one. And like it takes a little while. It's gonna take you maybe like 10-15 minutes while you're just sort of in front of the store like trying to figure it out. But then you hear that click sound as the deadbolts slide back, and you're able to open the door, and like that little green light on the scanner flashes on.
Anybody in there? Just not. I'm not saying that. I'm just like.
Room seems to be empty. It's probably one of those rooms that like it's dark right now. You just see like a couple of stacks of sort of servers.
Camera light, like a red light.
You would have definitely noticed like there's cameras in all the hallways, so you would have
gotta go fast
potentially
then.
been caught on camera like
Okay.
while you were standing at the door too.
I just
No
totally
one
forgot about the cameras.
Yeah, you sort of like look for a camera and then you turn around and you see one like behind you in the
I
hallway.
look like I pretend that I actually belong there. I just walk in.
Go ahead and give me
The camera gives you a thumbs up. You're
give me a
cool.
roll for that. I'm gonna again say this is probably challenging.
Oh god.
You do not look like you belong.
You
there.
even if you have like an invitation, you don't look like you belong.
I'm actually gonna say, yeah. Dale, this is 15. This is
18?
15 or higher.
A 15 or
I'll make
higher.
it 15 or higher.
Oh god, please tell me my fates.
Oh my
Oh.
Natural 20. You look up at the camera, and it was off.
Oh!
Dale can go in. So I will go in.
So you used up your 20 for the night. Sorry.
Dang it.
You know what? That's a good 20.
It was beautiful. Yeah, you look at the camera and it's off, and there. You look at the one in the server room, and I'll say that one is also off. And like, you think like maybe they're power cycler, something like
Oh.
someone's probably gonna
I
come and
timed
check
this
on them.
actually.
Yeah, you knew.
I
you
knew
knew.
this.
You saw that like there was like a.
It's
glitch
where
or
they change
something
out the
on
VCR tape on the recording device for 2 minutes.
The lenses switch shifts.
Yeah, this is actually no. Oh, I really.
Oh.
I'm gonna take something from this. You knew that the guards were like
shifts.
we're switching shifts, or you walk past the room with the guards in it, and Anon is there. Are you okay with me saying this? And
Sure,
she's just
yeah.
chatting to them. They're getting coffee. And like one of them joins, and you're like, now's the time to go. And then you forgot about the cameras, And then we do like the scene where we go through the camera and we go into the room with the guards and they're still talking to Anon.
And Anon's ending a very good joke. Like,
Oh, it's delightful. They love me. We're best friends. Also, Junior just simply adores his newest little addition.
And so then we zoom back out and we see Dale in the room being like, "How much time
Right.
do I have?"
I will go ahead and I have what's a good size, palm size memory drive that I have? It has a couple gigabytes that
Yeah,
I
you can have like an SSD. Like they're
Alright.
pretty small. Yeah.
So I go ahead and look for
I mean, like
the
I have a 2 terabyte portable drive that's like this big.
Yeah.
So I want something that's at least this big for whatever
Oh my
information
goodness.
I'm getting.
Like a 10 terabyte.
like a little
Solid
10
amount
terabyte.
of-
You just pull this brick, thunk.
Out of my danglies.
Or
and
like,
I'm
let's be real,
The
it's
old
probably
dangly
an
passport.
old one.
It's an
not-
old one.
yeah,
It's not the newest.
That doesn't come with Bluetooth inside it because that would be a
Yeah.
security risk.
No,
Yeah.
that would be. So I
If
have
you
to
have
always,
to have a
I have to
cable,
have. So where's the nearest port of the most important looking computer?
There's like 2 racks of servers with a bunch of cables and everything connected to them. So this you are connected at least into a portion of the network. You will probably still have to do some sort of security hacking in order to get to information. And
I will try working as fast as I can.
yeah,
so
so
I'm
you
just
plug in,
plug in
and then
and-
you go. Yeah.
go.
My question is what exactly, like, give me a few questions that Dale's gonna try and answer, like some basic information, and then we'll roll and we'll kind of see how much of that you get.
Okay, so basic information is why did they choose these people
Okay.
to be here,
Okay, so like kind of the selection process.
and what general like basic information they have about all of them and their families and where they come from, kind of thing.
Okay.
And how many questions do I get?
Just kind of tell me like your top 3 to 5 things that Dale wants. So it's not like a
Oh,
limited number of
also,
questions. I just want to know what exactly is Dale looking for, so I can figure
Like
out how much you get.
what are their powers, and also I am going to spend some time on our main leader.
Okay, so
Yes,
that
our
make that kind of a separate one. So you're trying to get like, why did they select these people? What can they do?
Yeah.
And just some background information on them, like what does the estate know about them?
Yeah.
And then if you can, also finding some information out about what's
And-
his butt,
And if
Riley Howell.
Yeah, Riley Howell. Yes.
oh, I forgot about Riley
Yeah,
Howell.
he's your field op lead.
Well, we don't know about. Yes.
Okay,
No, he has
cool.
a cat in another
So I will
universe.
say
Riley Howell again?
this is intimidating to probably get all of the information because you've got to hack through some of the systems to get it.
Yeah.
That being said, you'll still get information for lower rolls. Let's see first how far you drop it down, and then we'll kind of use that to figure out what information you get.
Even with so
So you have the computers, right?
I have investigation,
Okay, cool.
so that drops it down.
Mhm.
I got computer science.
That drops it down.
And seeing through lies and deception.
I'm gonna say that's probably not as applicable.
Dang.
more for the
Identifying.
I think that's specific. Identify as a specific to objects, right? Or is it just identifying in general?
And also, I have strange training, so I should be able to know.
I'm gonna take these
more.
2. Do you want to apply effort?
I only have
I
one
can
effort.
jump very high.
You can apply. It's
appreciate
only
this
1
negotiation.
per roll. You can apply effort to every single roll
Oh,
if
yes,
you have
I
enough
will.
points for it.
I will.
Okay, so we'll drop it down by 3 to take it from intimidating to demanding. So you just need to roll a 9 or higher.
Oh, please, 9. Dang it.
What
None
did
of
you
these.
roll?
3.
A 3. Okay. So I will say you're still gonna get some information. You're just not gonna get all of it. So you don't. You kind of break through and you realize the easiest thing for you to pull is first just some basic information on them. Like you find essentially the HR listings is kind of the first thing that you're able to pull up, and that'll include like kind of that family background information. So we'll start with that. So you would find out, and I guess. I can do this, or each of you can kind of give like
Each
a
of
couple
us.
sentences.
Each of us.
How much would they know of Anon, though, since Anon ended up approaching an agent rather than the other way around?
I think it was like she came to them, but I think they probably knew she was there.
Okay, cool.
They would probably know. So the information they know would be like your home recursion, spinner vector, paradox, and maybe like 1 or 2 core skills would probably be in there, and then like maybe some family or like relationship information, but that's going to be really variable. Like they probably don't know as much about Anon. they might know a little bit more about Oz, although a lot of that's kind of mystery. So, yeah, let's have each of you kind of go around and give that information that the estate has on you.
All right.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, oh shoot, I forgot to grab my little listing with Anon's parents' names. So I'm going to make them up.
But they may also not have the names explicitly. They may just like list their positions like vaguely.
Oh, okay, excellent.
It doesn't have to be super specific.
Perfect. I will get to you, William, on the Wikia with her parents' names later. But the essentially what you find out is that her parents are high-level diplomats,
Got it.
well respected by they're super famous and well known on her recursion, which is Adam Nocturne.
ATOM
Nocturne, N-O-T.
NOCTURNE, I think. Knock TURN.
Oh, like knocked as a
Nocturne
noctus.
as in night. Yeah,
Okay.
and then Adam as
Nice.
in. I keep saying autumn, but it's
Nocturne,
Adam because
who's
it's
that?
ATOM.
Right? I want to say Autumn too, though.
Atom.
You would find out that she is a paradox, and that she has. I think the tidbit would be that she has been translating on her own for some time.
Oh. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Who would she find next? Okay, so Dale finds Anon, and then you like pulling through and searching in this HR database.
Nice.
I feel like Jade. Like I feel like yours should be last because it's gonna be. The
Yeah.
Like, we're cool, but like.
I mean,
Let's do Pines. Let's go for
The
let's go for
T-Rex,
Pine.
my cramp.
Got this.
Is this Banzai or is this Dale?
This is bonsai. My hand is stuck.
Oh
Do you need anything? Do you need some
No,
water?
no. It has to. I have to force my hand open. Ah, my sweet Jesus.
You got this. We believe in you. We believe in you.
Got this.
You got this. Do you good?
Yeah,
Need a
it's
hand?
just a cramp.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, fudge. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Just it's right on the page.
No, it's cool. You
All right.
let us know if we can get you anything.
No, I'm good.
I can hold the paper for you while you write.
No, it's just the hand cramp. It's fine.
Fine.
So I think you're gonna learn from Pine a lot. You're gonna. So Pine's recursion is rather small. I think they would have some information about it. It's.
Yeah, they have some basics on it.
Yeah.
It's like it's a recursion they know about, but you would probably not get a ton of that
Yeah.
other than its like name because
it's
the-
fu-
you'd have to research the recursion separately.
It's actually really far from this. It's closer to the strange than Earth. So like it's on the edge of the bubble, right? Because there's a series of bubbles, and then it's
yeah,
Earth.
it's unclear exactly how they organize
Yeah.
themselves.
But like it's closer to Doom.
Yeah,
Oh.
it has a stronger connection to the strange than a lot of recursions. But
so-
you might not get that piece of information.
Oh
No.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that would be
I'm.
included in info about Pine.
Yeah, the Republic of Sansu is where Pine is from.
Got
Pine's full name, you have In the Pines when the Sky Was Night, I Took a Breath. You know that Pine is a vector. And then a lot of like how Pine, because Pine gave a large statement to
Yeah.
the estate. And so it's pretty much going to be like verbatim like what Pine believes is happening.
Yes.
And so because Pine got picked up at a police department. Like it wasn't a lot of prior investigation. It was a convenience and don't put this person in jail. They're gonna
Yeah.
talk way too much.
Nice.
So it's probably gonna have
Yeah,
Pine's
it's basically
arrest record.
You got arrested, and then the estate showed up,
Yes.
and we're like, we're gonna take them on bail, and
Yeah.
then just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you'll see like some real great mugshots, and
Yep.
you'll like see a newspaper clipping of like how Pine broke up the rivalry game between two
right.
two high schools of the football,
Nice.
and yeah, and pretty yeah. So a lot more about like Pine's origin story on Earth.
All right. Good.
Okay.
And Oz.
For Oswald Osdoot, born, redacted, currently residing in
Nice.
Omaha, Nebraska. Appears to be a spinner.
Okay.
Has translated before multiple times. However, has always seemed to be unconscious when he does so. Often translates while sleeping.
I mean, you have to enter a meditative trance. Sleep
and then
translation.
everything else, it just says refer to file dash number alphanumerical sort of sequence.
Super file. I'll just
yeah.
put it super file.
Parentheses. Riley has it. In the thumb drive.
Oh, you mean file 137RH?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's a very difficult file to get a hold of.
It's confidential.
It also says where you live, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, Oz lives off site, Pine lives on site, Anon lives on site, and then I think Jade.
Pine lives, or Anon lives wherever Anon wants to live. I don't think.
Anon has a room, but she doesn't spend a lot of time there.
Why bother? There's so many other lovely rooms to be in.
What?
And info on Jade.
Jade.
Yeah. So I think with Jade, the file's pretty extensive because she's been with the estate for over 20 years. So she spent significant amount of her time. So you have her background file.
I think a
from her
lot of
work
it's
with the estate.
probably like either encrypted or redacted. Like this
Yeah.
is the very basic like what does HR have on you?
Right.
So like you know she's been with them for 20 years and like,
Right. There's various places and things that she did that you just don't have clearance to see.
Darn it.
But she's listed as a vector. Her hometown is San Diego, California. The file does, as you're like skimming at, there's 2 family members listed. One is Charity Atwood.
Okay, that.
And the other one is William Atwood. And William Atwood is has a notation that says AWOL.
Oh.
There's also something in her file. There's a note that she, in 2017, was placed on probation. And you, as you're kind of skimming, you realize like there's mentions of promotions, so you get the impression that
Should be higher up.
yeah, captain is her current rank, but she was probably demoted.
Oh.
And then you see reference to a court martial. You also find like a medical records file.
Is it encrypted with a password?
yeah,
is.
that's also definitely in a separate
Dang it.
section. Yeah. So you get a lot of like
I get a lot of tips.
She could probably open it if she tried.
yeah, Dale could probably figure it out.
Well, I'm
but
just grabbing everything I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you kind of we do that like flashback and Anon is like separating from them and like, oh, I've got to go and like, something about this. And, like Dale's like, oh no, I have to go. So you don't manage to get anything on Riley.
No.
But she probably
And-
takes the medical file with her. It's not a.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
might
not
be able
so-
to copy some of that stuff. I think it's
She
probably,
probably
that
gets it.
There's a link to it.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
want her to get it, then
Yeah,
if
she
you
can
want
get it.
Dale to get it,
Yeah,
then he
she
gets
can get it. She probably would. It's not like it's.
Secret files.
I mean, it's not like it's going to have a lot of security on it.
Get your Ovaltine decoder ring. You can figure it out.
And that's everything. Then you slip out of the room and you make your way back down the hallway, and kind of at that moment, like Anon will pass you in the hall, and
Oh, Dale. Oh, hello.
I suddenly need to use the bathroom. Goodbye.
Oh, all right then. It's the other direction. I mean, the nearest one is. Bye.
you run past the bathroom on your way to wherever you're going.
There you go. Oh, did I not
Question,
say that?
so-
So, if you guys didn't hear me, I said
Do
I
you
said
think
we
the
need
court martial was done by the estate? Is that what you're going for, or by a different organization? Because the estate doesn't have. It's not a military, so
Right.
court martial could have been some other time in her life. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure if
I think it. I think it happened with a different, shall we say, power structure, but it was bad enough that the estate.
that the estate noticed that noted that there
It
was
was-
a court martial, but it didn't happen. It wasn't the estate that did it. Just to clarify.
But it
Because
does
not
all
like
seem
military.
to have gone down at about the same time. So.
Okay. All right. Any last little bits that y'all want to do? Okay. At some point, you'll get the message for a meeting for your next mission. They'll kind of gather you all together. Riley will be there. welcome you all in. You know, there's coffee, and you all sort of arrive as and when you would. And then eventually he'll get started. But if there's any conversation that anyone wants to have when you're in the same room,
I think Inan like comes in and she's like got a couple of people like chatting to her, and she, as she's like, no, I really must, and then like she finally like comes into the room, and like, oh dear, is the sound down as well?
No, they can hear
No,
us.
no,
But
okay.
the feed's back on. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Excellent,
okay.
excellent.
I heard us.
So like, and then Inan like sits down, she's like, oh, you're back.
I am. Yeah.
Welcome back.
There's a dent in my door.
Oh yes, Pine. Would you like to describe
Oz?
that?
You know anything about that?
No. No. I just got here.
Dale?
No, it was
I've been sleeping in my room.
obviously. No, I got worried. I hadn't seen you in a while, and honestly, I wanted to bout. I had some nerves.
You wanted to bout?
Yes, honorably. I wanted to bout.
He wanted to fight you.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So he fought your door instead. It was very chivalrous and sweet, and then he walked away, which was also kind because the door wasn't going to give. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have a lot of strength, even for like. Pardon me. That sounds like I always say. You have a lot of strength. I'd like to learn from you.
All right.
And I was slightly worried.
slightly worried.
Yeah, it has been 3 days. I try to keep
Oh.
contact with all of you.
We have days
Interesting.
off.
I didn't know that you understated things sometimes.
Pardon?
You didn't understate that? Huh.
Ryan looks confused. Riley, like, gets a cup of coffee. All right. Starts eating a donut. You all look refreshed. I hope you had a wonderful few days off.
Jade
I was
looks
in
like
my room.
shit.
Yeah, he definitely says that without really looking at any of you. Like,
Jade also just like pulls out like a cigar and lights it and starts smoking and like without
Yep.
much comment.
Riley just looks at her like, and then just looks up at like the smoke detector in the room. Outside.
She like has a moment of like, where do I?
Here you go.
Just nice, like, lovely couch, fabric, white, probably white couch, and just,
That's exactly
They're
what
like
This is
office
maybe
chairs, like in an
like, we're
Yeah.
in the futuristic estate.
No,
Are you sure?
No. It's,
IKEA.
It's like yeah, if you're lucky, or like whatever
Oh,
that
it's the-
wholesale like
The
office furniture
DMV,
is.
like,
yeah.
gray fabric
It's like going
chair.
to a Microsoft offices, but you're in like one of the conference rooms. So they're like kind of nice chairs, but it's not like a white leather sofa.
Are you sure? Because that's
That would be
white
really,
couch.
but I think either way, Anon would have done the same motion because
Yeah.
ultimately possessions are things and things
They-
are possessions and you can always replace them.
I like it. So, yeah, okay. Riley, this is what. Okay, says Riley. Yep, great break. You had one. We gave you a little bit of an extra day given the events of the last translation, but we have a new mission for you. It's been about 5 days now since you were in Arden last, and we've been going over the information that you brought back, and Quinn has been giving us, and it sounds like the cipher that Quinn was going after is a fairly impressive one. We don't know a lot about it, but if someone else is also going after it, on a scale of we would like them to get it first or us to get it first, we're going with us. And by us,
Do
I
we
mean
think
you.
somebody else is after that?
Oh, you were unconscious for that part in the report.
Oh, I got this lovely brooch. There's a whole group of people that seem very interested in whatever cipher it was that he had. Long story short, we killed a couple of them, but if you're going to take the long route of the story, we also got a brooch out of the whole deal.
Whereas, I killed a couple people last weekend and I didn't get anything out
You
of
didn't
it.
get a. That's awful.
It
You
is-
can have the
it
brooch
is awful.
if you want.
That is so nice.
I
of
mean,
you,
assuming it
Anon.
translates when we get back.
Right.
It's very thoughtful.
Okay, Riley says again. So you were unconscious when they rescued Quinn. There was a group of individuals, I believe you told me their name was Falls Harbinger is who they said their group was. They seemed pretty interested in getting Quinn in order to acquire this particular cipher. So we are assuming that they're probably going to take some action after, several of them had been murdered to continue with their plan. And we're sending you in, given your familiarity with them, this situation, and Quinn, to ideally acquire the cipher, or I suppose destroy it before they do.
Destroy the team. They are weakened. They've lost 2 of their members.
I
We could
meant
probably
the
sweep through.
cipher, but
Oh.
I suppose I'm... If they seem particularly dangerous or hostile, obviously you're allowed to engage, but we don't really encourage rampant murder. And he sort of gives side-eye to, Jade and Pine.
If they're a
then
threat, we
Jade
should
again.
take care of it quickly, effectively.
Right. Often, individuals are part of something larger, and when you start attacking them, it's kind of like swatting away a bee next to a hive. The whole thing will come after you.
And then you kill the hive.
No,
or
then you
sometimes
kill
the
the queen.
hive eats you.
Then you were not strong enough.
We'll play it by ear.
Great. Okay, then.
Riley, who howls with pain. It's just a little bit too much right now.
My last name is just Howell. Our names work differently than yours. So, your mission is going to be to go back into Arden, using the information that you know of where the cipher was located. It's supposed to be in the borderlands. Quinn gave us more of a rough location. It's pretty near the city of Shalmarn, which is just north of Hazarium, where you'll translate into. So you'll need to find a way to get there. Obviously, walking will be one of those options, but it will take you longer.
All right.
If you ask around, Claire's probably there. She'll be able to give you a little bit more help in terms of who to talk to, or you can use what you know about Arden. Make your way there, find some more information, and you should be able to locate the cipher from Shalmarn.
Okay.
It is in the Borderlands, though, and they are a delight, so have fun there. And by a delight, I mean dangerous. They're dangerous.
Yes, a delight.
Obviously.
Sorry, you looked like I had given you good news, and I wouldn't want you to
Oh,
think you were going to Hawaii or something.
no, I've learned by now. Let's go. I'm ready.
I did want to speak to you about something.
You want
Yes,
to go?
Yeah, let's go. Riley said we gotta go.
Pause.
I mean, you have
so
some
proud of
time.
you.
Like, you can take an hour or so, get yourselves ready. I mean, I just gave you the mission now.
Oh, cool.
It's not like a now thing, but I'm glad you're excited. Any questions for me? You obviously wanted to talk to me about something.
Yes.
Dale?
I feel like I'd be better asset to the team if I had more clearance for like information gathering. Because I brought a bulk of that information last time, and I don't have key card or anything.
I mean, you he looks down and like one of your danglies is your key card. Like you have
do
a
I-
card to get
I
into
mean, but
certain
it's-
areas.
I
It's
feel
like-
like I could just it would probably be really important, because you know how I am.
You are a new employee. We did give you a fairly low level of clearance, certainly. What are you trying to access?
It would be really helpful for him to fully be able to understand the recursions that we're headed into. I'm sure that you can understand this. Primarily, the fact is, he needs to be able to bring the information to you, but then study up ahead of time, especially once we know exactly what the briefing is. So if he has additional clearance, this would only help the team.
I would like to use persuasion. Okay, I'm actually going to say this is Dale's persuasion, but you can be helping.
Perfect.
Does Dale have anything for persuasion? I'm saying that's a no. So that will automatically, by helping, because you have more skill and you're helping someone with less skill, that'll drop it down one level anyway. So it still applies. So this is difficult, but you're dropping it down to demanding. So you need to roll a 9 or higher.
A 9 or higher. Okay. Effort?
Yeah,
And
you can play
yes.
effort. This is intellect,
Yes.
so it goes from your intellect pool as well.
Yes.
And I will say you recovered the previous points of effort because it's been at least a day.
Okay, so now it's 17. All right.
I guess you could have done your recovery rolls. but-
means I got my might back probably.
Yes. All right. Did you even know that they praise the Eater of Worlds and, that creature called the Inklings?
Planetivore. Yes, the Eater of Worlds.
Yes. So,
False
you know,
Harbinger. Yes.
they probably...
Roll!
Dang it!
Fans, I'm not sure what you're trying to get out of it.
Never mind.
A 6.
No.
I'll take this under consideration. I can't do anything about it for now, but certainly we'll think about expediting the process for you to be moved up a tier in classification. But in the meantime, you are always welcomed. And is there something in particular? Do you want to, before you go, just take a look at the files we have on Arden?
Yes.
Okay, I can definitely make that happen.
Yes. That is what I've been aiming for all this time.
Just that.
Just that.
Just that. Not anything else that you wanted to look up.
Jade just like snorts.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, at some point during the sort of the period of time in between before you go on the mission, you'll be given just like a file, a dump that'll be on a computer. It's available.
Ciphers?
Is this what Pine does in the room?
Claudia does.
Claudia does.
Like, do I get to plug it in? Do I get to put it on the head?
Okay, what does Pine
Plug
do?
it? I mean, Pine would just say, "Congratulations, you've grown strength in your heart. You're willing to do what it needs to take to go into the abyss."
Yeah, thank you.
I am
Yeah.
very proud of you, Oz.
I mean, I feel like I should start carrying my weight and, do
I
the
mean-
jobs we're supposed to do now. So,
Luckily,
Yeah.
you carry much and your weight is light.
thank you.
So, in terms of the gear that we'll take with us, before we went and had a conversation with a delightful individual who handed us basically the keys to the armory or something, so to speak. Where do we go for that this time?
Mission gear, certainly. We will have a selection. We have a few ciphers. We don't quite have a full contingent with us. I think we only have 3 or so you'll need to divide them up amongst you. They come through when they come through, but I guarantee you, when you go treasure hunting, wherever this extreme cipher is, there's likely to be more. So keep your eye out while you're in Arden. It's a good chance you'll come across more when you get there.
Delightful.
So they'll take you through. You'll have a little bit of downtime, essentially. So you'll get access to the ciphers. Is there anything else in particular that you would like to look for?
Like in the estate or in the armory?
In the estate or in the armory. Like, is there? You have a chance essentially to gear up, so you can kind of get some equipment together. They'll let you take your weapons.
I would say you all notice that Jade doesn't gear up with you.
Like, does Jade have a Jade closet, or like just goes to?
She just kind of disappears for a while and comes back geared up.
I think Anon just like looks at all of it and finds like one piece of the outfit that she's like, "Oh, that's delightful," and like compliments you on it.
Oh.
Honest compliment. Like she
Well,
finds the
people
piece that
leave
she
them.
really appreciates.
I will go ahead and that spit that was there to have a plastic baggie, and I'm gonna scoop that up for a further analysis later on.
We just cut to scene. Everybody leads out like they're in the armory. They're looking at things. So I'll say you get like second pick on things, and
Yeah,
they can pick the ciphers. And there's just we cut to Dave like cleaning spit into a little baggie.
You're
Tiny.
collecting the tobacco spit.
And then puts it in his pockets.
In a bag.
In a bag.
give you spit if you asked for it.
Not the same. Not the same. So you have a chance to gear up. Any like information or anything else you would like to ask about?
This time I bring a flashlight. That was effective last time. So pocket and then yeah. I think like looking around, be like yes.
Cool. You can kind of put some armor on, flashlight, grab a weapon. maybe a couple other, like, there's an assumption you'll be traveling for a little bit of time, so they will let you take, like, some survival, like, you can bring, like, cereal bars with it. Like, food translates a little bit weird.
Snacks.
So they'll kind of load you up with some basic gear. And that'll essentially fall under the category, if it sounds like a normal basic thing that you should have with you, we can probably assume that you have it, like rope and flashlights and
Chewy
basic
bars.
survival equipment.
Yeah.
They
Red
will
Bull.
provide you with that.
I think Anon just like chit chats with the guy who's providing the equipment.
You're chit-chatting. So those of you who are looking at the ciphers, they will kind of pull out, like, place them on the table. There's one that, from what you can see, looks kind of like it actually just looks like a battery pack with, like, a cable attached to it, but you look at, like, the end of the cable, and it's not, like, a connector that you recognize. There's another one that just looks like it's, like, in a single bottle, and it's, like, a single pill in this bottle. And then there's one more that it looks like just kind of, like, almost like a Fitbit sort of bracelet. And you can pick them up and you can see what they are. Because they're ciphers. So the one that looks like a battery charger is they'll point out, like, this is a complicated one. You'll have to, like, figure out how to use it, but it essentially drains energy from a source and then lets you output that energy in a few different ways. This one here, they're like, this one we call they look at, like, the Fitbit bracelet. They're like, we call this one a phase changer. It'll drop you out of phase for about an hour, so you can't hit anything, but you also can't be hit.
No.
You can walk through walls too. It's pretty great. And then this one, they shake, like, the pill in the bottle. This one will enhance your reflexes, makes you good at manual dexterity. You know, for totally honest things like pickpocketing or juggling. All right.
Huh.
So let you decide amongst yourselves who takes the 3.
Did you want the phase one? You seemed interested in that.
Oh, well, I just like the idea of walking through walls, honestly. I mean, how handy would that be? Don't have to use a door or window, just simply...
Bear in mind, whoever takes the battery pack one, that counts as 2 ciphers.
Oh.
So you either need to be able to carry 3, or you can't have a current cipher, and it'll count as 2.
Oh, okay. I can carry 3 ciphers right now.
So can I.
But I don't feel like I would... Anon would... I mean, maybe she would... I don't know. What do we
I'll take the
wanna
battery
do?
pack.
Okay.
Anon is the only one who's expressed any interest, so they'll be like, all right, here you go, and they'll hand it to you. And, like, bear in mind that you can you can give it to someone else to use.
Yeah, because
It's not, like, locked to you until you activate it. Then you were the only one. Like, once you turn it on, you can't then pass it off to someone else.
I
Kinda like
I
shake
already
the pill
have
bottle.
one. I already have one.
Okay.
I mean, if it makes sense, like, Anon might still give you the face
That's
changer.
out of character.
Dale would not say anything about
Captain,
Dell will not say.
they would just give those ones back to you. Technically, they might take them. Yeah.
we are both strong,
Not if
Physically?
They don't know I haven't.
mentally.
You're faster than I am, though.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure you can punch me through a solid brick wall.
Maybe.
I think Pine is gonna take it and then just slip it in Dale's pocket and try to do it very subtly, just so that Dale has it.
Okay. You're trying to slip something into Dale's pocket without Dale noticing.
Yes.
How observant is Dale? I would like you to set this difficulty for me.
If you took the pill, you could do it.
Oh, for sure. I can slip an empty pill bottle in Dale's pocket.
Yeah.
I guess, Dale's always on alert, though,
Yeah.
but, like, this is just a small area.
Okay.
And I'd say,
So, like, someone bumping up to you is probably not
yeah,
super obvious, but
yeah.
difficult or demanding.
Let's just do demanding. My ear is low.
You're distracted.
I'm just
I get it. And I think Pine's not gonna be like trying to just look like kind of like a whoop and try to like slip it into a back pocket.
Yeah, you've got a lot of pockets.
You have a lot of
so it's
pockets.
I
like
have
Dog.
a lot of pockets.
There's probably one that.
They translate into danglies everywhere I go.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
16.
then pass it over. You're not at maximum, right?
No, I have 3. I mean, I could have 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't
You
have
now have 2, so you've passed it on to Dale.
Will I even know I have this? No.
Not yet.
I think at some point it'll probably occur to you to like pat down.
that
one
might
of your
make you
pockets,
really nervous.
and it'll appear there. Yeah, we'll
Then
see how
the
this plays
next
out. That was an
time-
interesting choice.
It'll be a
Okay.
I'm kind of curious.
You have a chance to get all your gear. You can look through the information in Arden, which what I will say is will just count towards like any kind of knowledge rolls
Okay.
that you're gonna make for
this round.
for at least this round, like for a little while. And some stuff will probably be easier because it'll be kind of at like the top of the list. But functionally, it's basically like you read the section in the book about Arden.
Okay, I have a map.
Yeah, you definitely have a map. Like they would have shown you all maps, so they would have kind of had that as part of the presentation.
We also saw the cipher map.
Yeah, and you've seen the cipher map, so you know roughly where that big ol' X is. So with that, they'll lead you to the translation portal or translation gate, I should say, and you know they'll bid you good luck. Go get a cipher. This is big.
Just one?
It's not just a cipher. It's an extreme cipher.
What do you know about it so far?
We have no idea what it does.
You just
Oh,
know it's
okay.
big.
Could be terrifying. Could be exhilarating.
Earth is simply amazing. You look at something big and get excited.
And Riley actually laughs like deep chortle when Anon says that. Yes, many people do. Many people spend a lot of time just showing how big things are to each other.
I
Right,
get it
people,
now.
let's go.
It's just like,
And not like waits until everyone else has gone through, then she just looks around and she's like,
We'll finish this later.
and then walks.
I think both of them just like, no, we wait.
And you, as you step through, there's a like that moment of sort of translation, and you're going through a portal, so it's pretty much instant as you step through the other side. And all of your gear and appearances have shifted to fit with this context of being in Arden, which is this kind of very like high fantasy, but like extreme high fantasy sort of setting. Like everything is very powerful here, including sort of. And it's not quite like medieval sort of style. It's like actually that kind of weird fantasy modern hybrid where it's like they have running water, but no one really knows how. Magic. And you step through into a room that you've been into before. This is inside the Scroll and Tome, a small book bindery within the city of Hazarium, which is kind of this tall, multi-leveled city built partially into like a hill, but just kind of stacked upon itself. And you're greeted by Claire. Kind of her messed up hair is like pulled back, and she's like, "Oh, I was told you were going to be coming back. It's so good to see you again."
Claire, it's so good to see you too.
So, you off right away?
Do we need a bite to eat? Or do we just want to get to it?
Well, no time like the present. Will you be joining us this time?
Oh, no. I have plenty of work to do here. And she points at like the stack of sheets of paper. You know, it's the downside of not being on Earth. I don't have computers.
Shame that.
Mm-hmm. They're a great invention.
Well, what can you point us to?
I'm told you're trying to make your way up to the northern borderlands, right? Near the city of Salarn?
Yes.
Shalarn. Shalmarn. I wrote it down, but I forgot like 5 of the letters when I just said it. Well, you have a few options. It really depends on what route you want to take. You could obviously walk. It's about 200 miles.
Oh,
Do they have steeds of great strength here?
Horses?
Yes.
You could get horses. That'll cut your journey time down significantly. There's definitely stables you can buy or hire horses from. I suppose borrowing might be a little bit harder if you don't return them.
anything faster than a horse.
Well, there's a couple of other options. There's a river that pretty much will take you all the way down there. You can take a boat.
Oh.
Won't be that. It'll be somewhat faster than a horse, but not as much. Or there are, and this will be a little bit harder, handful of airships that do leave out of here every so often.
Oh.
You'll have to find one that's heading up there, though. Might be a little bit trickier, and they're sometimes less savory.
Like less safe, less reliable. Just
Smugglers and pirates.
Oh, let's do
There's
that.
a lot less business in
But
the north, so
there
there'll
are
be
horses.
people taking adventuring companies and other goods that they're taking out of Shalmarn.
Oh.
I'm guessing, Dale, you've never been on a horse before.
baby.
That's a no, I think.
You know.
I
know if
also
we're good enough riders to
haven't
take
been on a
this.
horse.
Okay.
Are
I mean, I'm happy to try, but an airship with
Some-
unsavory kinds just sounds
Maybe the
entertaining.
boat or the airship.
Those would definitely be your two fastest. Fastest, airship, then boat, then horses, then your feet.
Not feet, not horses.
I mean, if
How sad
we-
does Pine look?
Pine looks mildly like I think he was very into the conversation and is now just like picking up a book but doesn't want to read it.
It's just in disdain.
Just like, like I wouldn't say moody, but like a little bit moody.
I mean, if they're not riders, I
no.
don't want to arrive.
But
they're gonna arrive saddle
if we-
sore and
If we do have another time, we should train on horses.
yes, I agree.
If the airship's the fastest, then I think we should just take an airship. Then that just seems to make the most sense. If there's any static in between, I mean, we're capable. We're capable enough to take it on. So airship.
You seem so much more confident than you were the last time you were here.
Things happen. Yeah.
What kind of
There's
things?
a lot of rolls on that table, right?
You know the
Just trying to
spider
steal some more pieces of parchment.
house. I got bit. Almost got. Yeah. So
Not
I should
take that.
do more.
Obviously, my advice has assisted your growth.
That's what it was. Those talks that you
We did talk more than once.
Yeah.
Twice, perhaps.
Yeah, and it just kind of. Yeah.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I know I fit in with the smugglers, but I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I absolutely fit in. You can just pretend you kidnapped me or something.
What do we all look like again? Like,
Yeah,
just real
what do you
quick.
look like when you
Like, let's
step
go
into this
around.
recursion?
I think to help everyone.
Oh, Dale looks like a. Well, he always comes into a I don't know. You guys notice that he always comes in and has a funk.
Is it? But it's like a slightly different funk every time, right?
It's a slightly different
Like a
funk, but
smell?
it's not a smell. It's just you look at them and you think like he's kind of like the crowd that you don't really want to hang around with. He's kind of like that like disheveled. Like he has this like it's almost like a steampunk goggle on and a cape, and of course his leather apron and with the danglies everywhere, potion bottles, alchemist looking gent with a grizzly beard and yes. Like you're not too sure if he's a wizard or a crazy.
Both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably both.
I think Anon is still dressed really resplendently, like really white dress, like the chainmail that she's got on to protect her is like all in like maybe not so much in the protecting form as the like aesthetically pleasing form. And her hair is just like neatly done and like tucked to the side. She doesn't look like royalty, but she looks like a very wealthy merchant sort of person. Like, yeah.
Jade wears hunter green damask. And it's it's a ballet neckline with a split skirt and a jerkin pants below.
Still
there's
braids?
Full braids, full mother of dragon. But what you do? It's long sleeve, but I'm trying to think. You would probably notice. You're pretty observant. You notice that like along the neckline, there's like what looks like ink or like black kind of like that are just you can barely see the edge of it.
Anon will she'll just like make eye contact and then go like this.
And then Jade adjusts her.
Pine looks like somewhere between a knight and a mercenary with armor pieces that like are shine but aged, added scars across the face, still same like long hair, braids, with the tabard. What is it called? Tabard that's on one shoulder.
Cape?
Cape. With the owl on it, with the owl with one eye open, one eye closed.
And Oz is winking now. Back in just leather pant.
Leather pant. Just a one-legged
One
pant.
leg.
But it's a long leg and it goes up the other side, so it's like I'm wearing a U.
What? No.
No, leather pants.
You mean assless chaps? What?
The U happens the other way, darling. It
Yeah.
goes one leg,
It's
and
like-
then the fabric
it's
goes
like
up, and
putting
then another leg.
Putting your legs in like a macaroni.
No!
Oh, whoa!
Literally how pants work is that they are a U.
It's just leather pants, dark red tunic, and
Wait,
a
are
cloak.
these?
It's the same clothes as last time. Everyone just get fancy.
Well,
with
if you're describing like 1400s, it's like people like cod
They were
pieces were
technically, like,
functional,
hose,
and
yeah.
you tied your hose to
No,
your.
this is video game. Like they could be real pants.
just there's like leather.
I'm like, are you?
I mean, it,
Tight leather pants.
I love the fact you're like, this is the same outfit that it was before. Like,
You know what? I hope before you translated, you like baby powdered down in anticipation of your
Oh yeah,
leather
there's
pants.
like
that
there's
you're
no
wearing.
chafing. It's just
there's no
right.
chafing in video games. I refuse to
like
believe.
the new Red Dead. Your pants can chafe and you lose your hat.
What? Is
I
that
mean, I've heard
legit?
there's a lot of realism in it.
Yeah, same thing as before. Just kind of like once maybe ceremonial robes that are now just kind of too singed and too kind of like loved to be considered anything fancy like. Anyone who would know any of the runic markings would take notice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we went through all of that,
Macaroni pants.
BP fan. So Tony's playing that right now and was complaining to me. He's like, I have to shave soon.
In a video game?
oh, in the game?
Yeah.
You have to shave to give your appearance?
Grows a beard. There's all these things. But
It's like
he
Noah
was
Stark.
He's like, ah.
That's kind of awesome, and it makes me want to play that game a little bit.
all right.
So I'm like, you're okay.
So you're in the room with and Claire will kind of after that is there any other questions you have for her?
Claire,
Yes.
can I bring the horse through the gate?
Not a good idea.
Oh.
There are horses on Earth.
Not in the estate.
Things that don't have the spark, like animals, I suppose they can translate. They'll just turn into whatever they would fit into in the context, but it wouldn't be the same.
Would I get a horse on the other side?
Probably.
Then I will buy one for the way out.
She
Prepare.
looks at the door to this room like, I don't think a horse will fit.
You have not tried hard enough.
Why don't you just get a horse on Earth?
They are not trained for under combat. These steeds are, obviously.
I think there are some. Oh, you should take Pine to a. What's that called again?
Run
That thing
fair.
where yes.
Yeah. There's one a little bit north.
I went to one once.
What is
Sorry,
this?
It was strange.
A Renaissance fair.
What is a renaissance?
People dress
no.
up, and somewhat accurate portrayals at times.
Oh, no.
Kind of like this, but like based on
Bless you.
Earth experience and Earth history. There's like
He will
food
love
and
it.
drink. Hey, there's
But
actually
they
a
were
combat
horses that they
competitions.
winked at each other
Yeah,
with
they
people
joust.
and the poking.
Joust. You'll have to
I'm not
explain
from
this
Earth,
to
so I
me.
don't know as
Oh,
much. But
I couldn't tell. You
thank you.
seem to know a lot about it. It was
Well,
just-
I've been there a few times. I do work for the estate, but
Oh,
no,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
of
an
course.
Arden native.
Oh. Yeah. If you can give us any references on
Where-
the airship captains.
Where to go? I don't know of any personally. Honestly, they mostly stop through here, sell goods at the market. They dock up on one of the highest levels on one of the balconies. There's kind of an area around the side. There's normally only maybe 2 here at a time. You're gonna have slim pickings.
I know
You'll have
somebody
to.
around here, but I don't think he's here anymore.
But if you could head up there, try and talk to them directly, or find someone who.
Would you
Do
know?
you want to go chase down a captain?
Absolutely.
I'll find him. I mean,
You guys get some lunch. Let's go.
What?
Question, do you know
And they leave.
What?
anyone that who's kind of like a like a fence
Who sells things?
or purchases things that you can't typically sell at like a market?
So you're looking
Or-
for the black market, right? The illegal one.
Yes.
She kind of like looks around, sort of shrugs. You'll find that on level on level 30,
Thank you.
around kind of the back alleys. Be careful around there.
Oh yeah, appreciate
What
it.
are you trying to? Never mind. I shouldn't know more than what you're just saying. Any other questions for me?
Dale, sometimes known as Anthony.
Who sent you?
No, it's Pine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just me still.
This is like the World's Collide version of Who's on First. Isn't it?
We are escorting Oz to the black market.
Yes.
You will get information. I will keep you alive. And you alive.
And I will keep you alive.
You could try.
Wait, what?
All right, have fun. Bye. And like
Bye, Claire, who
like,
hides her feelings behind books.
turns around, goes to books, and like looks at you, and it's like, just like books. Some of us just want desk jobs.
People are just Ravenclaws.
Yeah, some people are just Ravenclaw.
I'm Hufflepuff.
And I think so. The Anon and Jade, where are you heading? Are you going
We're looking
up
for
to
pirates.
the balcony, or you want to like try and ask around in one of the markets where they would be selling stuff?
I think we probably head to the balcony where they.
So you're gonna kind of head up. That's probably so they're probably on like level 10, like pretty high up, but not super far away from the market, and it's kind of like tucked around one side of the city. So you'll make your way up there, and you're headed down to level 30. So the city, it's very vertical. There's kind of a central stairway, and basically the lowest levels, level 33 is the bottom, and the highest level, level 1, is where this kind of massive like crystalline structure is. That is essentially the court of the Queen of Hazarium in the Queendom area of Arden. So I think that's probably a good spot for us to take our break, and we'll come back
What?
to see what swarthy captain you can muster up,
oh, I hope so.
and whatever you're trying to fence,
Secrets.
I mean, he's going black market. I want him to go.
and whatever trouble Dale's gonna get us into. So let's read donations. Let me open the page.
You're opening the page.
Opening the page.
Gotta open up the page today. Open up the page. Gotta open up the page
It's
today.
really still loading. I swear.
I thought you were just doing a music.
And it's loaded!
Yay! Thanks, Dale.
Took a minute.
It's not my fault. I couldn't
thanks,
get the
Dale.
information out. I'm sorry.
All right. I think this one came through. The first one was 12 hours ago. From Purveyor of Pumpernickel. Yes. Get your pumpernickel bread here. Home of the glowing reviews of time-traveling brigands, including "It gets the job done" and "Your tummies will be fine." Other reviews include "It is my favorite thing to eat in the entire Arden recursion."
Oh.
So that's a glowing review.
Very.
Very good.
And then the estate donated 1428. Do you want to see what it's like on the other side?
Yes.
Stave off forces that seek to destroy us? Do you want to live in a fantasy-esque realm? Apply for an entry-level position at the estate today. Must have 3 to 5 years of experience.
Appropriate. Yes.
William TW donated $10. Thanks for last week's awesome episode. I'm slightly late because of last minute wiki changes. Thanks again, Void Smoker. Philosophical question: do your fictional recursions become actual recursions in the strange? Our fictional ones, as in
The ones we make
the
up.
one that we make up
Oh.
in this game. Maybe
If
if
enough
the
people
strange was
believe it.
real and enough people believed in them, then and this could become its own recursion, which is very meta.
Candy World, Candy World.
I just want Bad Baby Planet to exist
Bad
the
Baby.
most.
I just want to see what Pine takes a breath in the night sky. I forget what your whole name is.
It's okay. It's a
Pine
poem.
in the night who took a
In the pines when the sky was night, I took a breath.
In the pines when the sky was night, I took a breath. Unrelated to anything, donated $5. Don't give in to the pressure and falsified carb studies of hashtag Big Frito. Dark chocolate is a delicious snack. Add some slightly salted almonds and pair it with a nice port or Zinfandel. Can't do that with corn chips. Hashtag high fructose corn. Hashtag Big Frito. Hashtag chocolate love.
Whoever that is, you're awesome.
Thanks. Unrelated to anything. Thank you for
No,
that.
we said big Frida.
Big Frida, yeah.
Big Frida. And Swordfish donated $5. Breaking! A reported data breach at Seattle black-based back ops agency known only as the Estate has affected at least 4 of its agents. When asked if its breach exposes agent families and loved ones to risk, the Estate declined to comment. Dale!
What?
BJ White donated $10.97 with no message.
Oh, BJ White, I know who that is.
Would you like to fill in a message?
Oh,
Dale?
yeah. I don't know. Why are you asking? There's no information. Don't worry. They're not them. They're definitely not. Oh, also, don't believe what they say. The moon isn't real, guys.
That's the message. And Monty Cook Games, thank you, Monty Cook Games, donated $20. Thank you for playing The Strange. Thank you for making it a game that we could play.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna stretch our bodies. We're gonna drink some waters. We're gonna do other things, and then we will see you back here for the second half, where we acquire Sky Pirates and other good
Or
things.
do Sky Pirates acquire us?
Oh.
I mean, okay.
Pirates.
Hello, and welcome back. I hope you had an excellent break. You are joining us for the second half of Worlds Beyond, our RPG using the Cypher system by Monty Cook Games, specifically the Strange Setting, which is currently on sale. So if you like any of what you see here, you should go check that out. I think that's all of the products, everything from the hard copy books to the PDF books, so you can acquire the materials. They also have a lovely primer that you can use to read a little bit more about the setting as well, and that is available for free over on their website. They're lovely people. Go support them. But you are watching currently Geek Space TV. We're a nonprofit broadcasting studio in Seattle, and we're very excited to be here and present this show to you tonight. Thank you in advance for any donations that come through during the second half. You can see our goal for our weekly expenses down below, and I will read out those donations that come through. There's a link either in chat or down on our Twitch page. I'll read out what those messages are because they're delightful and we enjoy them. We currently have a trend of encouraging them to come in the form of advertisements from various things in our recursions. It's not a requirement. It gives me a good old chuckle.
Only one.
Delightful.
Only one sensible chuckle.
Only one. One. Huh.
Oh, that's two.
Oh, that's two. That's two.
I ruined it.
You ruined
I've also
it
broken everyone's
already.
ears.
So thank you. Thank you in advance. Thank you for being here. If you're unable to support with the monies, you can do so through simply being here. You're already doing it. Good job.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. You can also share it out, talk about it amongst your friends and family, throw it to the internet on your social media networks, and so on and so forth. We've got tweets and stuff that you can share. So thank you.
That's where the bar
Let's
is.
really quickly reintroduce who our players are, and then we'll jump back into the action, because I think that there is probably a pirate captain that someone's trying to do something with. We'll find out what that's all about. Let's start in the opposite. We started over here. No, we started over here, so we'll start over here this time. Who are you, and who are you playing?
Oh, who am I? Okay, sorry.
Or
I am.
minimum, who are you
I
playing?
am Bonsai Baby on Twitch and Bonsai Baby on Instagram and Twitter. I play Dale Fink, who is a debonair, dashing person who knows all and can end all.
Yep, that's 100% accurate. Who are you?
I am Shellgame. You can find me on Twitter at Shellgame or the Shellgame on Instagram. And I play Anon Nisi, who is just delightfully good at talking to you and finding out all of your secrets.
I am Janine. I am at Admiral Asma on the Twitters, and I play Captain Jade Atwood, the Vector who is trying to train the youth, well, not youth, younger people, next generation. That's what it's about. It's about passing on what you've learned and dying a good death, hopefully, someday.
What?
I will listen to anything.
We all gotta die at some point.
Hi, I'm Jackie Dash in real life. JAKIDASH thing. But in this game, I play Pine, he, him, a knight looking for their sage, and currently very sad that they did not take the horses.
Oh.
So sad.
Hey, what's up? It's me. I'm playing Oz Dukes. I got fire on my hands, and I got a weird thing with babies.
Oh.
Yep.
I mean, accurate.
Oswald Dukes.
You didn't do the thing.
Which one?
It's your boy.
That's me.
It's my favorite part. I'm like, who's the boy? You're the boy.
It's me.
Who's the boy? The boy with the power, the boy with the magic.
I just get very excited every time. I'm like, oh yeah.
Hey, it's your boy. It's him.
It is! And I am Random Tuesday. I will be your GM for this evening. So the intrepid adventurers, the estate agents, have made their way into a recursion known as Arden, which is basically an MMO RPG, but made into reality. That's actually how this place came to being, but that's fine. This is a story for another time. They need to make their way to the northern part of this single island recursion. It's basically an island floating out in space. And
Space Island.
there they were given a few ways to do it. Captain Jade has decided upon the airship will be the best route that could possibly take them to the north of Eridan, out to the borderlands. So let's go to them, and then meanwhile, we also know that Oz wants to fence something, or wants to find someone that can fence things. I don't know if Oz is intending to fence anything, and Pine is going to keep him alive, and also keep Dale alive, and Dale is going to do something, probably find information.
Bro adventure.
They're going on their bro
Force.
adventure.
Bro force.
Force.
I mean,
And wait. So Jade and Anon, you make your way to that central stair and you kind of work your way up. You were told to go to about level 10. You kind of exit off the level, and this one is a much deeper, sort of wider level. That's kind of one of the balconies, like this. The city kind of goes up and there's sort of a main structure, and then you kind of imagine there's like balconies that like stick off in sections. They kind of like run perpendicular to each other so they don't block each other too much. And the city does get a little bit narrower as it reaches towards the higher levels, so the sort of large, sturdy base and kind of smaller, like single castle size at the top, or maybe not even that big, like a sort of a single structure is right at the top. You exit off, and here it becomes pretty apparent, as you would assume airships would be at the edge, so you kind of head towards the outer section from the center of this city. And it becomes pretty apparent, like you see kind of a hustle and bustle. There's people going past. You get the impression there are merchants. You know you're pretty close to the merchants market because you've been there before. That market, I think, is, I believe, on level 12. Maybe don't quote me on that one because I don't remember where I wrote it down. Yeah, it's on 12 and 13. So you're a couple levels above it. So people are probably bringing things to and from. But in general, like you see, the people who are here, you'd probably ascribe to like upper middle class, well-dressed for the most part. They look put together. They've got jewelry on. Like Anon actually fits in like really well here. Everybody's wearing sort of fine fabrics, patterns, shawls, very flowing, everything. Brightly colored and kind of things like that. Things that would cost a lot more money than you might find on the lower levels. And which makes it relatively easy to pick out who are the people that are not from here and who are the people that might be coming in off of ships. And when you look, you don't catch too many of them. There's like a handful of them, and you eventually make your way to kind of a sort of tucked around one side. There are fewer of the sort of well-dressed people here going back and forth. There's a handful of them, but they all have a little bit more of this, less I'm like out on a stroll and maybe more I'm here for business. And you emerge into kind of a smaller balcony area. And there you see there is a couple of smaller ships. There's probably about 3 of them right now. And they look essentially like they're kind of tethered in. So something that is not the ship is supporting their weight or helping them continue to float. And the ships come in a few varying of designs, but they are sort of similar to ships that would go on water. But here everything's like, it's that kind of high fantasy version of something. So it's not like an actual ship would have looked like in the past, but it's like what you would imagine a ship combined with magic would look like. So like it's got kind of a large envelope. Some of them have envelopes. One of them has sails. So you get the impression. Actually, I don't think any of them would have envelopes. They all have sails. The sails are kind of this like sort of shimmering, very beautiful looking cloth, as if like maybe enchanted with magic in some way to fly. They have kind of that base of a ship, but it's very streamlined. So everything they're quite narrow. And they're on the smaller side. You would not sort of imagine these wouldn't be significant crews. They might have maybe 10 people on one of these ships. There's like the upper deck. All of them kind of have a mast with like a crow's nest in them. And very fine decorations along the side and well painted and decorated. They've got like figureheads and things like that. Especially because you would, here you don't have to worry about like the salt water rubbing off or like destroying the sides of it. So you can kind of gild things a little bit more. So what do? You see all of this.
You've been here before. Which of these look the best?
Well, don't look for the nicest ship. Look for something with some miles on it, but we'll take it care of. Something that's too new might be an experienced captain. Anna, you want something that's well loved.
How about that one with the phoenix on the front?
A little foreboding, but nice choice. Shall we go see about this?
Sure. Following your lead, Captain.
We approach the ship. I look for the captain.
Okay. You look around and you are able to see, like, there's people kind of coming on and off of the ships, and you saw a few of them coming before. There's a lot of, like, people bringing things onto the ships. And how are you gonna, what's your plan to sort of identify the captain?
I'm just looking for somebody who's giving commands.
Okay.
So,
You approach.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if I figure I might find like a lieutenant or something before I find the.
Yeah, you find someone that is definitely like communicating to others with people. So like they're talking to someone who's kind of well dressed. They seem to have some sort of interaction. There's like seems to be a passing off of something, and then that person like has their people like take a couple of things away that like you would imagine some crates. You think you probably just saw like a business deal go down.
Great.
And you go up to them, and you know they've got like short sort of cropped hair. They're wearing like a jacket. It's kind of hanging open. It's got the, you know, those sort of like belled sleeves that you would see. If you know anything about like historically period attire, you're like, this doesn't fit with that time period, but whatever, it seems to work here. And like, you know, a sort of a plain like white shirt underneath and leather pants. They may also experience
I
chafing.
really hope there's a lot of the
Those
really,
kinda, like-
really
They don't have the
long
zippers
boots.
together.
Yeah,
The boots that
they've
go
got, like,
up to the thighs.
like thigh-high
They're
boots.
gonna need
Somebody
some
looks
top
like
water.
David Bowie in this universe.
Yeah, this person a little bit. They probably actually. This person's probably a little bit like smaller and kind of stockier. Not quite so David Bowie-esque, unfortunately.
Oh.
How can I help you?
We're interested in charting a ship. I was wondering if you might point me towards your captain.
Charting a ship. And he kind of looks you up and down, and then looks Anon up and down.
Hi. We just need to get out to Salmar.
Shelmarn.
Oh, thank you. We just need to get out to Shalmar.
5
Shelmarn.
passengers,
Oh, that's-
myself and Anon included.
I appreciate the potential business, but I don't think you have the coin.
Why would you say something like that?
Because you're asking to charter a whole airship.
Well, we need passage. We'll put it that way.
Right. And they kind of you went up to the one with like one of the one with the phoenix on it, and as you get closer, you're like, it's like a nice, like a gilded ship. And they kind of look around to the one next to it, and they're like, if you're going out to Shelmarn, you want someone. We're headed in the opposite direction.
Okay.
You want to go to talk to Captain Adwani. Yes, I wrote my name right. You want to go and you see like the ship that they're pointing to is of the 3 that there. You kind of like there was the super shiny one, the like middle one, which is the one you went to, and then this one, it's not really painted on the side. It's like scuffing off. The sails are. It's like, you know, it has a figurehead, but you're not entirely sure what it is.
What's your name?
Oh, my name,
Like, is it like that?
Kira.
Sorry?
Kira.
Kier. Kier, how much would you charge me if you were the captain of that ship to charter it?
That ship.
Yeah.
Storm's Lament.
Yeah. Jade, like, when you say the name, her face, like, twitches like she's suddenly taken control of it and is trying not to react to that name.
Oh, and on like just is like tilt.
And they kind of looks the ship up and down like, well, on our ship, typically a passenger, they're not expected to do any work. We would defend them if something were to happen, and you know, we provide some basic amenities. It's a very classy experience aboard Phoenix
Airlines.
Down.
Airlights.
Phoenix.
Airlines.
I was like, I feel like Phoenix Down is the worst name for a ship. It's worse than Storm's Lament.
What if Phoenix Downs is like a rescue ship?
The Golden Phoenix. Yeah.
That's way better.
It's like a Chinese restaurant.
It does.
Sorry.
It does. How about Phoenix Wings?
Oh, Phoenix Wings.
Or Phoenix
I like
Flight? If you like the
it. Yeah.
the-
We'll go with Phoenix Wing. about the Phoenix flight. We would provide a lot of amenities, and for us, a 200-mile journey, assuming it was on our way, would probably be at least 100 coin each. It's, for several days. There'd be a few, maybe
Per person, 100
per
coin.
per person. Yeah, for 5 passengers, might be able to offer a little bit of a discount. So we'd say a 3-day journey. Let's round it down. We'll make it 20 a day. So 60 coin a person for that many days. So now, I don't know if you would find Storm's Lament to have as many amenities, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure both the ships here, there's not a lot of business up in Shelmarn for merchants. It's the sort of people who might take adventurers out there, someone who might work for one of the adventuring companies. They're the sorts of people who go there, chasing artifacts and rare goods. But it takes a certain caliber of brave soul to risk finding nothing.
Got you. Well, thank you, Kier. Thank you for the tip. We will go talk to
Maker's
Storm's
Speed.
Lament.
Maker is the god. The Maker is one of their 7 gods.
Maker's Mark to you as well.
Maker be with you. And also with
And also
you. I think that is now what they say in Arden. Maker be with you. And also with you.
They've got the maker's mark, is what they call
Yeah,
people
and
who are
that's what they
blessed.
call. Yeah, if you're blessed, you have the Maker's mark.
It's a great mark.
Well, I suppose we're going to a different captain.
Talk to.
What was it, Captain? What again?
Captain Adwani.
Let's go talk to.
You just seem so happy about that.
Captain Adwani?
Yeah.
Well, you don't like the name of my totally auspicious pirate ship?
So, Storm's Lament.
Yeah.
This can only end well.
Sure.
Or
what could
end.
go wrong? Well, at least we're not paying for protection. That's an obvious upcharge that we don't need.
You can already tell your bosses that you're saving coin.
Yes.
You look so excited.
Yes. I don't like budgets.
Fair. This would have been a much nicer boat to take. And Kier was simply...
She just looks back.
Swishy
I
coat.
had a gun for a while.
You did?
I had a gun, but there was so much paperwork I decided to switch to a knife.
Oh. Well, that makes a lot
You
of
have
sense.
to be licensed to
Every time
carry.
you
It's a whole focus.
You have to have license to carry. You have to, the estate wants you to log all the bullets you discharge. I can't do that.
Well, at least you don't have to log bullets with a knife. You just
I know.
stab in, stab out.
Exactly.
I am beginning to understand you a lot more. I agree. Paperwork was the worst part. I just handed it to my assistant when I had to.
You had an assistant?
Oh, yes.
Like,
You didn't?
when? Like, in your previous travels?
Oh,
Current?
yes. Well, long before I started traveling on Autumn Nocturne, yes, I had an assistant.
Were you a diplomat?
You're
I looked you up.
astute.
I looked you up.
I believe it. What else did you find? I'm just curious to know what Earth has at this point.
Not a lot.
Oh.
Actually, I'm kind of surprised your file is very thin. Usually, I don't know. I think that when we find people or if people find us, we should know who they are.
Well, I've been jumping around the Strange a lot, and it doesn't help that I've made enemies, so easier just not to have a file.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yours must be thick by now.
You have no idea.
I'd love to find out, quite honestly.
It's best you don't. Shall we go?
Of course. After you, Captain.
Okay, so you kind of head over to the other side of the the other part of the kind of landing balcony, I guess. Port. Small port. Towards Storm's Lament.
Airport.
And you kind of get close to the ship and you can see, like, it's been repainted a few times on the side, like, in beautiful sort of calligraphy script. But as you look at it, like, a lot of it's been, you'd kind of assume Jade would probably pick up on this maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
like, sandblasted. Like, it has, like, whatever paint has been on there has been just essentially, like, sanded off. Potentially due to storms or something like that, but it's clearly experienced. Like, you can kind of see those like scrapes and grooves in the side.
Jane goes up to the boat and like kind of goes along the side and basically like kicks it with her foot the way you would kick a tire on a car.
Who's kicking my boat?
Hi.
Oh.
As you do that, like this a taller woman comes around the side and she's of course it is. It's me. She's got this large, because she's airship captain. She's got a big hat. It's got like kind of floppy brim, so part of her face is covered. You can see like a braid of kind of long dark black hair down the side. She's got nice dark brown skin. Definitely like seen a lot of sun, and that kind of like her sleeves are rolled up. She's got a vest on, and it's this sort of somewhat brocade kind of fabric onto it, but it's a little bit faded. She definitely has like thigh-high leather boots on. You can see at her hip she's got a sword, and another hip she's got some other weapon. You think it might be a pistol of some kind, or maybe it's like a magic wand. Who's kicking my ship?
My name's Captain Jade Atwell.
Well, then clearly you have your own ship you can go kick.
Actually, I'm not
Ship
a
crosses
ship
her
captain.
arms.
I'm a captain of people. This is my associate, Anon.
Hello. Lovely
We're
ship.
interested in buying passage.
Where are you headed?
Shalmarn.
She kind of, you see her like rolls her eyes a little bit. How much coin do you have? Or who should I say, who did you talk to about how much it would cost?
I like you.
We got a couple quotes before we came.
Take it you didn't decide to take a trip on the Phoenix flight. I hear they offer in-room catering.
We're not really looking for those sorts of services. We're looking for safe passage. We don't need protection, we don't need room service, and we certainly don't need a turn down and mint on our pillow in the before bedtime sort of service.
We just need to get there. And this seems like a ship that could do it.
Shalmarn. Up at the
5
north.
passengers.
And none of them need protection, you said.
No, I mean, we get into a fight with another airship, we don't have a lot to throw at them.
I mean, up to Shalmarn, I wouldn't really worry about too many other airships.
What do we worry about?
Things in the sky. Storms. Creatures.
Seems like you've weathered a few.
Yeah, we nearly got eaten by a dragon once, but haven't seen one of those in a while. She kind of looks and you see like there's these massive scrape marks that you think of, like along one side.
That must have been exhilarating.
It was something.
Should you choose to offer us a fair price, I would love to find out more.
We're probably gonna have some cargo. Getting up to Shalmarn, there'll be someone who wants to make it back. So, one-way trip, or are you looking for passage back?
Round trip, passage back.
Right. I think we could offer it for. Said 5 of you. Let's make it 200 coin for the lot. As long as you're willing to put up your own in a fight, I'll use that to pay for your supplies. I mean, assume you want to eat and drink, right?
Yeah. So room and board?
I mean, yeah, we have a bunk. It's nothing fancy. I mean, each.
Great.
Oh.
Kind of hammock sort of situation. We
Okay.
pack you in.
All one room.
Mm.
Okay. And none? What else should we ask the dear captain?
You'll have a place to sleep, make sure you're fed. if we should encounter some sort of altercation, you'll help us out.
Although dragon's a little bit above our pace. scale.
Dragons, we run.
Okay,
we run
great.
from dragons.
Just checking.
I mean, we fly quite quickly. I know she's not a lot to look at, but I promise you, Storm's Lament has weathered many.
She's got it where it counts. All right, I think we have a deal.
She reaches out. Yeah, she spits on her hand as well. She shakes yours.
I'll give
It's
you
a pleasure doing business with you.
half when we arrive there, half when we arrive back here. Deal?
And round trip. We'll be setting out sunrise tomorrow morning, so make yourselves comfortable. You're welcome to stay the night on the ship.
Great.
Lovely. Will you be around?
I'll be in and out.
Fair.
And she and then she sort of double takes as you say that. She's like, I'll be around. And then she winks.
I didn't know. And it's just like, I think I'm going to. And she just names one of the taverns that she saw coming up on the way. Like, I'm just going to be there. I'll probably get a drink or two. If you're around.
I think I can make my way through there.
As we're kind of walking away, to say, word of advice: don't start anything until you're at the return trip.
Fair, but there's a
Just
lot
saying.
of fun things that can happen before then.
I'm just saying. Much easier that way.
Excuse me. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Lesbian sky pirate. Oh no, she's not a pirate. They're not pirates. No, they're not pirates.
They're merchants!
Merchant vessel.
She's not much to look at.
They're probably not so much pirates as they are
Commandeer
the
vehicle.
sort of merchants who go to more dangerous places.
Treasure hunters.
Yeah.
Mercenaries.
Yeah, a little bit more mercenary, a little more treasure hunty. They don't pillage. They're not a capture other
They
ships.
just
They
sort
would
of
need way more people than
collect
that.
what happens to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that.
Okay. Privateers. Yeah. So down in the city, as we make our way down, the other trio is making their way down
Yes.
to level 30.
Yes.
As you work your way down there, you go through the levels. It's still lit, but you start not being able to see the sky as the density of the city increases, and you're kind of farther and farther away from the edges where there are balconies and things like that. And you eventually make it your way to level 30. You're welcome to talk about things. When you get there, what is the first sort of thing that Oz is planning on doing?
Oz is completely walking with a very sense of purpose to this market. It immediately starts frantically looking around at any sort of open wares or any items that seems to be set out. Do you want me to tell you exactly what he's looking for?
So you're just gonna make your way directly to the market.
Yes,
Okay.
to the market.
Are the two of you gonna do anything else? And we'll narrate when we get there.
First, you're too shiny. I'm gonna go see if I can buy the shiny a coat
No.
or something.
No.
Something to cover up the shininess.
Well, I mean,
before you
I
get
have
there.
one I have the armor, and then on one side I have a capelet, so it's pretty covered already.
Yeah, but it's a clean capelet.
Yes.
At least Oz's clothes are half burnt.
Just pour a Coke on it.
I will not let you pour anything
I
on
mean,
this.
you're just kind of
That's what you do when the stage is too slick. You cook the stage.
I get it. I get Pine. I get that you're a warrior and you should be very proud of that. But we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere sneaky. And
I guarantee I can be sneakier than you.
It's different kind of sneaky that you can do, though.
I mean, here, just give me a hug.
Dale, that is sometimes Anthony, I will take your challenge. And I think if I just
So you know how Dell looks. It doesn't.
Yeah, like there's a slight like gross like some dirt transfers on the front.
I think
And there's a single
Pine
like
gets the
related
message.
handprint on your back.
And Pine will actually take the capelet and folds it up very like nicely into a small square and puts it in
Like
his satchel,
satchel.
and then gives him a hug.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, there's like a little bit of grime, and then like on your back there's like one like Dale handprint, and it's not so much dirt as it's like alchemical fluids, maybe like it's like a little
definitely
sticky,
sticky.
like and
Fluids
maybe
from
blue.
dangly.
Okay. I think after that, Pine will be on the like on alert, kind of like head up, head on swivel. Like if there was a small like, there's not a lock on his
A lock on his satchel.
No, but you know, like
Spear thing.
my spear
Glaive.
thing.
Yeah.
In my glaive, I assume that there's not like, you know, sometimes there's like safeties. It's the safety is off.
Sharp blades don't tend to have safeties. They might have a sheath, but you don't probably have one for a glaive.
Or maybe like a
You
like
probably
a
have
hard
like a
cone
sheath
cube
you could
put
put
the
on the blade.
Oh,
portion
for
that
sure.
You can like.
But
make sure
I mean,
it's
it's one of
off.
those things of like it's easier to pull out. Like there's all the way put in.
Like a styrofoam, custom styrofoam cap that
Yeah.
Estate made for you.
I think it's probably like
Yeah.
a like horse, like you know, makes it like a horse's head or like an animal.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
that's
you
cute.
got a little hobby horse on your back.
Yeah.
Oh, but we went through so it translated to probably like a wooden.
It
horse.
translates to like a baton in the other world
Yeah.
because it is
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, right.
like one of those like
In the
snap
Halloween
and it goes
world?
whoop, 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 and then you can
Telescopic.
telescopic. The Robin
Telescoping
weapon.
stuff.
Yeah.
The one that like you can. It's also the Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
you
nice.
can clip it in it, or you can scream it.
So my state is I am ready.
Yeah.
I am on alert. If any of them go missing, there will be loud noises. So keep within sight.
So you kind of make your way, and first thing that you would see is what strikes you at first as like a kind of normal market. But you kind of like you take a moment and you look through the goods and you realize like it's like dust, like marks, like looking like the stuff just is never touched. And there's like one person like sitting at a stall and they're not approaching and friendly. And there's like maybe there's like half a dozen of these sort of stalls, and they're all kind of grouped up in sort of like in front of like a building or something, and you just sort of no one's particularly conversational, and like a couple like there's occasional people having conversations.
I'm gonna stand back and just kind of like peruse around at like some of the things, and I like to activate the understand twist.
Okay, and what does this do?
Pretty much, I'm just gonna spend an entire turn or action just observing the people, the person who I want to observe is obviously someone who's standing back in the group, and then
Kind of one of the
next time
shopkeepers.
and when I interact with them, any difficulty trying to get anything out of them drops down.
Perfect.
A difficulty.
Okay.
Uh,
They're just like watching you. Like you can kind of see the person. They're just sort of sitting there. Like they've got, like a hood up, and they're just kind of. They don't take their eyes off you at any point. But they don't say anything.
It's like shopping in Bellevue. I walk over and I look at some of the things. I say,
You just
Maybe.
like touching things, or you hit a buy.
yeah, I'm looking for something. You don't seem to have it.
And that's like they kind of lean forward just a little bit when you say that. What are you looking for?
Will you pick up anything sort of out of the ordinary? Maybe someone brought something in. Maybe you yourselves found something that doesn't quite belong, or a little bit too odd.
And they kind of look and they, like, and you've seen no?
I'm in the business of
Oh.
artifacts and treasures.
Go ahead and try and persuade this. You're trying to
Yeah.
Get something out of this person. This is difficult
All right.
now, but you drop that down to demanding automatically.
And I will use my training in persuasion.
Yeah. All right. So 6 or higher.
Can I assist by just looking intimidating in the background? Like, not just.
How do you look intimidating?
Big Pine stands to his full height and just kind of like you look like if you waste his time, you wasted my time. You wasted my time. We got problems.
Do you kind of like shift your weapon as if to display like I have a weapon?
I mean, I don't think it's very. I'm not hiding it. It's just like,
Let me just
Okay.
stretch this
Do you
a
have
little
any
more.
training in anything related to persuasion?
I'm trained in social interactions with leadership.
Okay. That's really funny. So you, because you're both at the same skill level, I'd say with social interaction and persuade, add +1 to your roll.
Awesome.
So 6 or higher, add 1.
Oh, a 6.
A 6, a 7. So you succeed. They kind of, they like, yeah, their eyes do that thing. They like look at Pine, and then look at you and motion for you to sort of lean in slightly. Like, I know the place you want to go. I don't know who directed you here, but you're in the right spot. And they kind of gesture for you to step into the stall.
Dale.
I'm always hanging out. Right
Oh,
behind you. I'm like the shadow.
Yeah, you say that, and Dale just pops out from right behind you. Is it this way?
All right.
Kind of look around, and you see like they pull up one of the pieces of fabric from like behind their stall, and there's a door behind them, and they'll open the door and let you through. Like, have fun. Watch your purse.
Go right on in.
Okay.
Actually listens to Just Satchel and then goes in.
And they hurriedly close the door behind you. And you step in. It's a relatively well lit room, kind of like hanging lanterns from the ceiling. And it's much busier in here. It's still kind of, everyone still talks in a little bit of like a quiet sort of volume, just because like they don't want to be heard. But you would say this looks like a room you kind of imagine if someone took like the ground floor of like an apartment building and just knocked out all of the walls. So there's still pillars and like structural supports, but the whole thing has just been turned into kind of this maze of like full-size stalls and like small little tables. Like if you took a convention center, vending hall, and like made it old world. old worldy, but that kind of like people, you know, they have little tables. You definitely see some people in the corner like doing card tricks and like being like, come watch me move the cups.
3-man
And-
Monty?
yeah. But here there's a sense of like savviness. Like even they know that their marks are people that know that they're marks. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And what are you looking for?
Anything that doesn't belong in this world.
So are you trying to look for an artifact?
Like a cipher.
So ciphers
just-
always turn into their context. So you could look for a cipher, but a cipher's not going to look like it doesn't belong. So, for example, your little battery pack, it's now turned probably into like this kind of like glowing like or like a crystal inside like a cage of like metal with like some wire like sticking off the edge of it. So like it becomes part of the world that it occupies, like all the rest of your gear.
Question. Wait. Ooh.
There
This is
are
weird.
ways to get things into worlds that they would no longer belong. So if but they're not going to be ciphers.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking for anything that doesn't belong here or looks familiar to something from a different world.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just hoping to find something?
Hoping to find something.
Okay. You're kind of going to have to spend some time looking through the whole thing. So go ahead and this is difficult. So 12 or higher.
Can I aid him with investigation?
Yes.
Okay.
So 9 or higher.
12.
Okay. He's like, don't tell me the rule. Let me say yes. Okay, so the three of you kind of begin sort of going up and down, like scoping out everything that you can. And eventually you stumble upon a stall. It's like a kind of a little one, like someone's got like a table in front of them. And you notice like there's a few things, nothing particularly interesting at first until you kind of catch sight of something that looks like really out of place. A lot of like the metals that you see here are kind of like the golds and silvers. Everything's kind of got a little bit of a shiny, but nothing. This is like a piece of like a little bit of chrome, like it's super shiny. It catches your eye at first, and it looks just kind of like a little chrome rectangle, and it's got like a couple of buttons on the top of it that you think you see, and you can't see it super close. You'd have to get a little bit closer to it.
Yeah, I just put both hands in my pockets and just kind of shoulder through.
I walk up to the stall, and the
yeah.
person's just sort of like,
At
Hey.
a better look, what is it?
when you get to it, you really don't know, but it doesn't look like anything that belongs in Arden. It looks like kind of a small, like, rectangular plate of metal, like kind of chrome, and you actually get up close and you think that it might be like more of a composite plastic than metal. It's particularly reflective, and it's got like 6 buttons across the top of it. There's like sort of weird runish symbols on them, or at least letters you don't recognize.
Hey, how much for this one?
Special.
To who?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
To me.
You're selling it?
It's the right price.
That's a shame.
I gotta sell it.
On hard times?
They like gesture at the stuff at their stall. Anyone here not on hard times?
Fair enough.
I mean, your clothes look like you could use replacement too.
All right,
I
how
mean
much?
that in a nice way, but they're.
Oh no, I take it
Or-
a nice. Thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. I didn't. I'm not window shopping for compliments, but thank you. How much is it?
Kind of look you up and down. Are Pine and Dale nearby?
Yes.
Are you making it apparent that you're with him, or not?
I am slightly upset that they call him Oz clothes. Like, I think Pine. Wait.
You've described your clothes as being like singed.
Yes,
right?
but as soon as somebody else points out, I think it was like,
The grumpy, yeah. They kind of look like sort of nervously at Pine.
Dale's around, but there's a lot of interesting things here.
Oh yeah. 50 coin.
I'll take it.
They definitely have this moment of like, oh really? I eyeballed you. Okay. You like drop like the stack of coins in their hand, and they're like,
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
that is it.
Yeah,
Went all this way for one piece of flimsy metal.
yeah.
Okay.
Dale.
What happens? What do I hear around while I'm just kind of like, no one's really paying attention to Dale?
yeah. No one. Like you actually probably look like you totally fit in here.
Dale set up his own kiosk.
Like actually, someone probably comes up to you and like looks at you because you realize that you walk past someone who's like got their coat, but they've got it all hanging on the outside, and they're like clearly selling things off of their person, and they kind of give you this look when they see the inside of your coat, and they're like, and like scoff at you and then walk on by. You'd hear people talking about like where things came from. You definitely notice like some of the things people are selling in here are probably ciphers. Without like getting a super close look, you can't necessarily like know exactly what they do. But you could kind of get that, especially because you've got some strange awareness.
Yeah,
You're like,
strange awareness.
Little tingle, little tingly.
Well, what is the most tingly table?
Sure, yeah, you can gravitate towards a table that's selling some ciphers.
Tingly.
Um,
Okay. Yes.
And you just go up to them and you look at the wares. Most of the things that they have on their table are jewelry. Someone who is a non would probably be able to notice this for sure. Like, it's very, very nice jewelry. Very fine, very well-made jewelry. This is not a jeweler's stall.
This is stolen.
Whether or not Dale is able to recognize that is neither here nor there. But there is a single there's it's like a metal cuff, like a sort of it's pretty large, not quite like an actual vambrace, like a piece of armor, but it's this lovely like metal cuff, and it's got these kind of inlays and decorations, and it's like inscribed with what looks to be a series of runes. It's definitely gold, very shiny.
Shiny.
It's nice, and you can tell it's a cipher without picking it up. You don't normally know, like you have to kind of
have to pick it up.
manipulate them and give it a go to know what it does.
Give or take 70.
70 gold? 70 coin? It's 100. It's a normal price.
100.
This is very fine jewelry. You won't find it anywhere
too
else.
fine of a jewelry. Maybe looks a little misplaced jewelry.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm just saying, maybe it's worth maybe 80.
9.
85.
Go ahead and roll to haggle. It's a demanding. It's a 9 or higher.
9 or higher. Okay. Effort.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Apply some of that effort. Let's drop it down 6 or higher.
Please.
We have clarified you are separate from those two, so they're
Yes,
not
these are
helping you
both
right
are
now.
happening at the same time. I can't go.
15.
15.
Nice.
Done. 85.
All right.
You hand over the coin.
Well,
they
I'll
hand you.
A
You
slow.
slide it across the table.
Yeah.
One at a time?
They actually, yeah, like one at a time. I'm sure they have larger denominations because I'd never clarified exactly how much one is worth. They probably platinum. I don't even know. Whatever. So they, and that was intellect points.
Okay.
They like actually take out like a little cloth bag, and they like take the thing and they put the bracelet in
Would
it,
you like
and they
this
like
gift?
tie it up. Yeah, they don't even ask. They gift wrap.
I guarantee those are also stolen bags.
100%. Probably. Like, you realize, like, that looks like a purse. That's like a purse that someone cut the strings of and then is now using this as a purse to put the coin. And then they hand it to you with both hands, and they're like, enjoy.
Thank you.
It'll look wonderful on you.
Scary away.
Anything else? The three of you sort of reconvene.
Yeah. Good.
Here you go.
I can
We are-
have this many.
Yep.
We are going horseback riding when we get home.
Oh yeah, definitely. You get to pet the horse. You get to brush the horse.
And you will ride a horse.
I will ride. Yeah.
Oh,
of course.
while I'm filling around. I noticed that.
Yeah, I think you go to put it in a pocket and you hear like a rattle, 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 and you like reach around and there's just this.
Is it like a seed now? A seed in
Yeah,
a glass?
Oh, no, yeah, it's a little glass bottle with, and maybe it doesn't rattle, it probably sloshes. And it's like a sort of kind of effervescent, peachy sort of colored liquid in it. And like you hear like a slosh, 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 or like the glass like tinks against something else in the pocket. You find Dale like this.
Hey Dale, we gotta go. Let's go.
Okay,
You okay?
maybe.
Find anything?
Maybe.
Don't find any. Fink.
Does Pine think that Fink is something?
No, it's Claudia
like-
trying to make a pun.
Okay. Because I feel like for Pine, names are all like full sentences.
Yeah, names are-
And
yeah.
So does Pine assume that like these are things, like people's names?
I guess so. Like a fink has to be a thing.
Yeah, like because you are Dale. Like a Dale is something. You know, you could be in the Dale with the Fink. Like that could have been their name. In the Dale, chasing upon the hills of.
I
Fink.
think that's like knowing anyone's like full is just so hard to do. I'm just trying.
Let's get you on a horse, buddy.
I discovered something, but I can't say more.
So here's the question:
That's not.
Yes.
where are you gonna go now? Jade and Anon kind of left
We
enthusiastically.
said a meeting place.
Oh, yeah, back to Claire's.
All right.
Go to
Yeah.
Claire's.
Yeah,
Claire's.
I think you probably said you'd meet back
Get
at the
some
school.
ears
so.
pierced.
I don't
Cinnabon.
think I don't think Anon heads back to Claire, so I think she stops at the pub on the way and she's like, "Just pick me up when you come back." And she's like, "Hello," as she walks in.
New friends.
Strangers are just friends I haven't talked to enough yet.
Exactly.
Okay, I go back to Claire's.
When
It's the scroll and tome.
we get far enough away,
Yes.
I think my jacket is a portal.
Do explain.
Wait, a what?
A portal.
Portal. Okay. Wait, why?
Look, and then I lay out like basically the two things. Of course, these two things appeared in my jacket.
The two things being the vial of slosh and a.
Very shiny.
So I know the vial of
Oh.
slosh. I was thinking about
Yeah,
Claudia.
you actually don't know for sure. Like, Pine would probably be able to figure it out, but
Yeah.
on immediate look at it, you're like, it could just be a different vial of slosh that Dale has or has acquired. And then you kind of think, like, ciphers translate.
Yeah.
Medical things tend to turn into potion bottles here.
Dale, I do believe your jacket is a portal. Keep hold of that. You might need that for later.
Do you
Your
want
bo-
to see what I have?
Your body is weak.
I can show you.
Yes, I do want to.
You've got so many things. I forgot you got the coin last week, too.
Yes.
And it still looks like a coin.
Yes.
It's
those are
probably,
three
like,
things.
slightly larger and slightly, like, more...
I feel like I should share with my
ornate.
team so I don't sabotage.
Yeah, that's up to Dale.
Oh.
And you kind of, like, all feel around with them, so you know what these things do now.
That's the coin, which is probably still a coin.
Yeah, the coin would still look like a coin, just might have a different inscription on it.
Oh, dope.
Actually, yeah, it's probably got an inscription of, like, one of the gods, which I can't remember. There's probably a god of cursing.
I assume it's like a weaver, and it's like a long sentence.
Its name is
Lord
Darn.
fuck.
Yes.
For the sake of the audience, I'm not going to say this out loud.
Reaching across.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That was my only gatekeeper name.
It's your only what?
What nothing. Dating.
Dale, I believe in this. You are a wizard in this world,
I
correct?
am a wizard in this world.
Perhaps your leather brigadier. I know the word, but like Pine
Do you
would know.
look at the
but I
word
don't.
bandolier?
Bandolier
Okay.
has a way to open and give you satisfaction in worldly possessions.
Maybe. Or it's a nefarious plan. Did I tell you guys? I think they have infiltrated us. They have infiltrated us.
Who is they?
The they. The they always mention.
This conversation is happening.
Yeah.
here.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no,
we're
no.
ready. We're
Really, yeah.
And actually, that, like, the they, and then, Anon's not there.
I put my jacket back on.
And that's
I put
probably
my
when
cape
you,
back
like,
on.
enter in. And Jade, you would have gotten probably back slightly sooner because you didn't have quite as far to travel.
We are scheduled for departure tomorrow morning on a ship called Storm's Lament.
Fine name.
Also a fun name.
What's a ship?
Easier to show you.
Okay.
Skyhorse. Not that kind of Skyhorse.
So, the deal is room and board in transit and any protection we have to take on ourselves. Anon is making friends.
Alone?
She's never alone.
No, but I mean without someone with no.
One of us? Yes.
I mean, she could stab. So.
Alright, I'll see y'all in the morning.
What?
We're leaving now? Let's go now.
You're leaving at dawn.
Oh, leave at dawn. I'll see you at dawn.
We can spend the night on the ship.
Oh, okay.
Can I
That's
talk
also
to you
good
for a
of you.
minute, Oz?
Yeah, we can talk.
Alone.
I just like
Claire's like,
Okay.
hi, why
guys
don't you
go get
come
it?
to another room?
Why don't you go get a turkey leg?
Tell me where the
you're gonna
bar
love it.
is. Tell me where Non's bar is.
I give you directions.
Come on, Dale.
1 second. I'll be right back. I'll just.
I'll also wait outside.
Alright. I will give Claire a handwritten receipt
Okay.
for the cipher that I acquired.
Okay.
Are you giving her an expense report?
She looks at this and she's like, weren't you equipped before you left?
Yes, but I found more ciphers. And I know information of maybe how to find more ciphers. I mean, if somehow, I don't have expendable funds, but I was able
You
to.
are given a travel stipend, so this would probably come out of that typically. But I'll pass it on.
Thank you. And you pass on that I also found information
Certainly.
that I'm very
Yeah,
useful.
okay. She makes a note of this with a big fluffy quill and then rolls it
Alright.
up and adds it to a stack of things to go to Earth.
An earth tube.
It's a little satchel probably that they'll probably have whoever goes through next take through.
Hey, what's up, Captain?
I don't know what's going on with you, Oz, and to be honest, you don't really have to tell me, because it's not really my business. But I do want to remind you that I know when you're lying to me, and I know when you're trying to trick me. So, if you don't want to answer questions truthfully, that's okay.
Okay. Well,
But
would
if
you-
it's something that gets in the way of the mission, I'm gonna start asking.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool. I can I ask you something.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
Longer than I like to say, but close to 25 years.
What's a fractal storm? Fractal riff.
Fractal vortex, but
Fractal
you're so
vortex.
It's essentially an unstable.
It's basically like a energy storm caused made of strange energy, and not strange as in I don't know what it is, but as an energy from the strange normally
Yeah.
sparks it. They essentially are very chaotic and unstable, translation gates.
It's a translation gate that is, it's not stable.
Yeah, and things gets inside of them, and they'll get caught in them and caught in their path.
I don't know what you've heard. But it's not quite what you think, okay? I mean,
What do you?
I don't know what
okay.
Ripley told you about me, but it doesn't,
Riley.
Riley, but it doesn't, it, what happened to me won't affect my job here.
I won't tell the others about what I've heard.
That's why you asked, right?
You can tell when I'm lying, right?
Wait, why are you asking about fractal storms?
What does Riley know about you? And what are you trying to keep from us?
You know, I'm sorry, I think I misunderstood your question.
No, it's yeah, talk.
Have a talk another time.
I agree.
Have you encountered a fractal storm?
It's hard to explain.
So is mine.
See you at dawn.
Awkward, not at all real yawn.
Where
do you
Don't be
go
late.
as you back slowly out the door?
I don't know. I should head back inside.
You do kind of stand outside in the plaza for a minute and then just turn around and walk back inside the Scroll and Tome.
Yeah. Just long enough. There's someone still in here? Okay. Walk around.
Okay. There's a lot of awkward silence. Anon. Back at the bar.
I assume she has made friends at this point.
Oh,
and
yeah.
is just
Oh yeah.
chitter-chattering around. I would love for her to like look to see if she can spot any ciphers, because now she's started to see that like these are things that she can pick up when she's in these other worlds.
Yeah, I'll say you're not gonna find any in like just hanging around. The people don't tend to have them on them. That's like being in a black market where people are selling weird illicit goods is a more likely place to find them, or like when you're searching in a ruin. The best way to think about ciphers almost is like a little bit more frequent than you might find like magic items in like D&D or something like that. So if you're going like treasure hunting, that's probably the sort of place where that stuff will show up.
Okay. Well, then she's just, I think, making friends and like saying hello, and I think eventually at some point she like finds her way over to the bartender and starts asking questions about Storm's Lament and what's happened to it historically, and like how did the captain become the captain?
I think as you ask that question, you hear, well, that's a tragic tale.
Well, hello there.
And she, like, gestures at the seat next to you. May I?
By all means.
Kind of looks at the bartender. And, like, before that, the bartender definitely passed on, like, you know, Storm's Lament. They've been here for a while. They kind of come and go. Often known for taking the various adventuring companies or different groups to locations. Like, they do tend to specialize a little bit more in transporting people, but they're a little bit more particular about the sorts of people that they transport. And then they'll kind of take, sometimes depending on what it is, like if they're treasure hunters, they'll like take a cut of their goods in terms of like profits, or being like, that's kind of how they do a lot of their earnings. So they'll go here to Hazarium. They'll also go to pretty much wherever they can. They don't have like a reputation for being particularly like aggressive. They're more opportunistic.
Okay.
But yeah, when you ask about how she became captain, Captain Adwani sits down and is like, So you're asking how I became captain?
Well, you know, I figured I would just compare the story that they give me with the one that you do.
Well, I will say it wasn't always called Storm's Lament.
Oh.
Renamed it that a few years ago.
Seems like a particularly morbid name.
More tragic, I like to think. It also tends to keep less, how shall I say, talented company away. We don't like to give rides to just anybody. We go to places where it's dangerous, where there's adventure, where it's exciting.
Oh, I'm glad you took us on then. But you still haven't told me how you became captain.
Well, I wasn't always, like I said, captain. I was, before that, I was the first mate.
Huh.
On Storm's Lament. The captain was my father.
Usually those things don't just pass along.
Well, he lived had a good life. Remember that dragon I told you about?
How can I forget?
When we didn't quite get away in time.
I see.
Snatched him right off the deck. He didn't stand a chance.
But you don't get any sort of fear in your eye when you talk about dragons.
It's just one way in a long list of ways to die.
Isn't that the truth?
Before that, the ship was called Storm's Thunder. More classic, more traditional. It didn't seem fitting to keep a name like that anymore after he was gone.
No, the current one seems much more appropriate. Especially considering how.
The former, Captain Adwani, was a good man. And hope he made a good meal.
Well, I guess time will tell if I consider you to be a good captain or not.
I'm curious. I don't know how much experience you have with captains.
Well,
How do I know you're a good judge?
fair question. I have significant experience with captains in general, but none with one of your sort of ships, so...
What kind of experience are we talking about?
Well, the sort of experience you have when you meet someone and you're very connected and You want to explore that connection fully.
She like takes a swig of her drink and puts it on the counter, and she's like, well, like I said to your fair captain, she seems like a good woman.
Yes, she does.
We do have the one room, although I, as captain, have my own quarters. You'll know where to find it.
I look forward to saying hello.
She nods, puts a couple of coins on the counter and says, hers are on me. And then swishes out the door with her long vest like twirls behind her. She had a coat on this time. And there's a
Anon
feather in her hat.
appreciates like every single movement. Is that about the time I assume that?
I walk in the door backwards yawning.
At this point, there's this awkward
I
group
think
of Pinedale.
I feel like Pine and Dale probably came in like towards the end of that conversation, and like you look and watch her go, and they're just standing by the door. Like clearly they're like, we're not gonna interrupt this.
No.
Oh, hello.
Captain swishes past you, but she has no idea who you are, so she does not address you. Sure.
I don't have any idea who she is, so fair.
Hello. Would you have a drink? This is Jarkuth. This is Kenthith,
And that's Jerry.
Hi.
That's Jerry.
I'll pass. I don't feel. We're going on a flying horse, but not a flying horse ship tomorrow, so I want my wits.
Oh, I'm going to sleep there tonight. That was available to us, so.
There's probably also rooms at the Scroll and Tome, so you
No,
can
that
take your
it
pick.
sounds great. I will also adventure on the flying horse, not horse ship.
Flying not horse.
ship.
Are the goth kids in this tavern too?
Goth kid.
No, this is a much more hoity. Like you look at a place, Pine looks like he's in place here. This is a hoitier toity.
Wait,
because
I
you're
look
on
like
like
I'm in
yeah,
place?
you're like on the 10th level.
Oh,
And
this
Pine,
is
like,
that
you're put
kind
together.
of bar.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not like
This is-
super schwanky, but it's a little schwanky. Like it's got a vibe, especially right now, of businessmen after work. Like merchants coming after a long day's work, and now they have coin to spend.
Anon has not bought a drink yet.
Yeah, they've got coin to spend.
I'm going to spend. Why would she bother?
Dale, would you like to have a turkey leg?
I don't think they'll serve me here.
They'll serve you, Dale.
Dale, do you have coins?
Oh, wait, do you want to be Anthony right now? I get confused. I'm so sorry.
Dale looks so uncomfortable.
And it's just like two very tall people. I assume Dale's a little on the shorter side.
Yeah.
Two very tall people be like,
I'm just.
okay.
Everybody's looking at me right now.
Would you get just a drink and then don't look at him?
Like pour a pint and then like look at you, but now that you've said it, they like really want to look at like Dale, and you just made it worse.
She immediately just starts trying to talk to the bartender, like distract him and like.
How many pounds of turkey legs do you have here?
How many orders of turkey legs would you? They will offer you. They will serve you. however many.
5.
You order 5 turkey. Actually, you know what? They're like, what's a turkey?
You lied to me! What do you serve here?
I don't know. They list off their meals. They will provide you with food.
Pine
If
doesn't.
you want a large bird, like you don't even know what a turkey like.
No, I don't know what a
Pine doesn't know what
Well,
a turkey
here's the
is.
thing. There's probably turkeys. There's birds. There's fat.
Yeah,
there's
but
owls.
does Pine know what a turkey is?
No.
Does Pine know
No.
what?
Pine knows that it would be some sort of animal to eat.
Yeah. Okay.
Pine doesn't look at the menu and just
With like a large leg of meat.
order me something that is large and filling that I could also suffice to my friends.
Very well. They turn around and one order. No.
Well, I mean, if they ask a turkey equivalent, I will go ahead and use my little feed because it wilderness lore. Do I know what is the equivalent of a turkey?
Oh yeah, especially because you've like looked through the book on Arden.
Yes.
Sure, there's a similarly large bird creature which I don't have a name
Called the
for.
Jab Jab.
The Jab Jab.
Ooh.
The Jab Jab.
That's the colloquial name
Jab
for
jab
it.
dam.
And then, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Jabberwock?
That's when it gets like
The
up to
Jabarian.
full maturity. Jab, jab, jab.
Jab 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 Jab.
Jab jab jam.
Because all you
Jab
want to do is
Jara.
I don't know.
Jara.
Maybe get you a little bit of jam and
Little
just
jam jam nugs.
I will mumble it. Jab Jab. Do you have Jab Jab?
Ah, yes, we've got some fine Jabjara legs. Yes, blah, blah, blah.
Jab.
Jab Jab Games. Delicious terror bird. It is a large bird. It has big claws for legs. It'll rip you in two.
I do like more stories. Tell me more stories
you
about
to
this
its
Jab
young.
Jab.
And the evening will progress. Do you go back to
Oh, of course
Captain
she does.
Iguana's? Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Good evening.
Oh, I assume so.
Cool.
For all-
So
they-
good job
they
following
deepened
Jane's
their
advice.
Yeah, no, that's
Roll.
they-
Is there some sort of game that, like, eventually, when everyone shows up, we can all play together? Like,
Yeah,
like-
probably. I guess my question, and this is as Lauren, to know how you and Adwani have interacted, would Inan intend to maintain more of a conversational interaction or a physical interaction?
I think Anon would. Both are like she appreciates both, so it would really depend on like what Edwani. If Edwani like went for physical, she would totally go for physical.
Yeah, she probably would. Yeah, she just invited you back to her room. She's not messing around here.
But I don't think
Okay.
we stopped talking.
No,
No.
it is. I mean,
Very
the
good
conversational,
connection.
It's not like mutually exclusive. It was more. Is it like one or the other or both? Okay.
Both, yeah, and then after as you're enjoying the connection, there's even more connection to be had.
A lot of connection.
Yeah,
Lots of
yeah.
They have sex.
Oh!
I just wanted to be clear here, not euphemisming around. Hi.
You see a pan.
Yeah, there's like a camera pan. It's like
Yeah.
the
Is
you
it
know,
like
BioWare
there's
sort
like
of scene.
knock knock?
Yeah.
and then door opens, and Anan just sort of like goes in, and the door just.
Yes, that is exactly what that scene is.
And then Gary's there going, ah!
Jerry.
Jerry.
They're also somebody named Gary on the ship now.
Yes.
I close the doors.
That's why I'm first mate.
All right. So, the population quarters. And anything else that anyone else is going to do? If not, we will cut to dawn aboard Storm's Lament.
This is neither a horse nor like just very in the middle.
Standing on
In the middle, just like woke up early because like, oh, I can't see it in the dark. Like maybe it is actually a horse.
I think Anan like comes out of Captain's quarters. She's like, Pine. Wow. Good morning.
Salutations. May the sun bless your morning.
And yours as well. You look so down.
Lies came out of the companions that we know.
I'm running like, wait. I have a better analogy for it.
So yeah, you're all getting to the ship. It hasn't left yet. It's still docked. Are you standing on the ship or on the?
Yeah, I'm on the
you're on the
ship.
ship.
Yeah.
You're just full of disappointment. You get the impression anyone who did stay the night would have figured out there's, including the captain, there's only four other crew aboard the ship. They keep a pretty small crew, and it's a relatively small
So
ship.
you're saying we could take this ship?
I guess if you really wanted to. Do any of you have pilot airship as a skill?
We can learn.
Lead us.
Wow.
Always train in pilot spacecraft.
Yeah. Sure.
It's true.
Yeah,
motto.
large sails. They're kind of more of a dull sort of gray color. The ship itself is that very sort of sand-blasted wood. Like it's a plus side, no splinters.
Nice. Good news.
Kind of still painted on the side. You can still see some of like the flecks of paint from like the gilding around the edges. The deck is pretty much flat. There is rigging that goes up to the various sails. There's a crow's nest up top, and then there is the wheel is basically like a large pirate wheel, but like by it there's sort of different sort of equipment than you would expect. Like it's not really a compass. There's other like navigational equipment there, and then below there's the elevated portion with stairs that go below deck, and that's where the crew and the quarters were, and the captain's quarters were above deck on the other end. Structured kind of like a pirate ship.
Jade sort of appears, and you don't really know. You realize you weren't tracking. You don't know where she spent the night, but she looks really tired. And she's just suddenly there on the ship, being like, "All right,
Good morning.
good morning."
It's like a turtle, but the shell is turned upside down, but it flies on.
Come up
It
first.
melts on balloons.
Come up.
And then you get there and like you realize it's not an envelope. It's not like what you would imagine a sky ship. It looks like the pirate ship but it looks like a boat, but in the sky.
Like Treasure Planet style?
Yeah, a little bit more
Oh.
Treasure Planet style, or like when the boat in Peter Pan is the ship in Peter Pan
Yeah.
is sailing, like that kind of thing. And like you do see, you actually would see like tucked along the side, there's like fin-like sails that do actually
Oh, so does
like
Treasure
move
Planet.
out to the side.
Treasure
Yeah,
Planet.
beautiful. So,
Yeah.
but those are like tucked in while it's docked. Spell jam.
We're all here. All right.
Did you run the entire way?
Just when I remembered, it looks different than. I'm good. Did a lot of yawning.
Thank you for trying to help.
Anytime, my friend.
Have a good night.
Yeah. How was your night?
Lovely.
Well, good. At least one of us had a good time.
All
Captain.
right. Hello, Captain. Welcome aboard Storm's Lament.
Thank you.
We all ready to set sky
So,
Pine.
sail? Oh, I see you the other night, didn't I? We were in
Yes.
the tavern. Fine. I'm Captain Adwani. You're going to be on my crew. We have a couple of days.
Us.
Oz.
I'm Anthony.
Anthony. Excellent. Pleasure to meet all of you. Let's set sail. And she like makes a clapping like motion, and then the 4 other crew members like immediately all get to work. She walks over and she like pulls this like large lever, and you see the docking like they were, rather than an anchor, they kind of have like clamps, and they sort of like untether themselves. You almost imagine they were like little bird claws that like unclench and like let go of the side and like retract in. And then she sort of drifts them away. The sails unfurl, and you also are like, there's not wind. So whatever is making this thing move is not like the actual power of wind making the sails move. And the whole boat sort of drifts back away from the edge of the dock, and then like you hear like a scraping slight sound, and she's like, oh, no, that's fine. It's fine. You can take a beating. As it like scratches along the edge of the dock and like knocks into Phoenix Flight, the boat next to it, and you see the boat like wobble a little bit. She's like, whoops!
and I literally does like laugh a little bit.
And you're like, that was not a mistake, all of you realize. And pulls the boat out, and it turns around, and as it does, it pulls away, and the kind of the sails on the side all open out, and there's these sort of massive like fins along the edges, as well as multiple sails, very much in that like Treasure Planet sort of style. And you hold the rails, the captain's the wheel! And you just see the ship, and there's kind of a moment, and it sort of builds, and then it pushes, and like you feel the air. Like it's not crazy like super fast, but there's definitely this sense of like motion. And it's sort of, she's like, all right, we're gonna be moving up. Your ears might pop a little bit, but that's normal. And as the ship rises higher and higher above the city, and it kind of like tilts slightly to the side as it banks and turns in a different direction. And it's a little bit like being on a boat, a little bit like being in an airplane. And eventually you float up and you get, it's not going to go as high as clouds, but you get to kind of like, there is a cloud layer above you, and you begin kind of drifting your way towards the northern city of Shalmarn. Aboard Storm's Lament. In the distance, we see a storm.
No!
Really?
No.
That's kind
I
of
kid. All right.
For now.
I think that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna read the donations that came through. We had a couple from the second half. Let me read.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing. I like to do everything as if I'm at like a kindergarten or learning how to do basic choreography. You're amazing.
My favorite part is this doesn't have to be like accurate to actual sailing because it's magic. So I don't have to actually know how ships work. Rembrandt Crying Man Brown with Oh Dang, the corn chip recursion almost killed us. So much salt and crunchy deliciousness. Corn chip beaches and Fago seas. The spicy corn chip volcanoes erupting every 3 weeks at noon on Fritos Day, but not as good as the dark chocolate recursion. So here's my question. If you go to a recursion made of candy and you're also made of candy,
I don't want to
can you
be made
eat
of
the
candy.
Or would
can't.
that be cannibalism?
Well,
Candybalism.
Cannibalism.
If you're a different kind of candy, it's like
Yeah.
gum is not the same as
No.
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, but I feel like
Yeah,
it's got to
how
be
does
like
that-
same sort of family as candy. So like if you're chocolate, you can't
shouldn't
eat
the
chocolate.
But
It's
like, you could eat
we're all
gumdrops.
meat, by the way.
Yeah, it's
We're
true.
all meat, and
Yeah,
we eat
we are meat.
other meat.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but not our own meat. Like,
No.
I can eat a
Okay, so yeah,
gumdrop
you like
dog.
chocolate and gumdrops would be separate. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then Roddenberry donated $5. Need clothes for your recursion. Oversized leather boots with big cuffs. Generic fatigues that may or may not be accurate. Period inappropriate dress garb.
Yes!
Leather pants. Hey, we don't question. Roddenberry Inc. has got you and your body covered. Hashtag chafing.
Thank you.
Nice.
Now
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We're going to do a quick sign off. As a reminder, next week at 7 p.m., you can check out Eat, Pray, Kill on Monday night. It's awesome. You should watch them. Their makeup is amazing.
So good.
It's the best. It's so good. We look like plebeians compared to them. And meantime, follow us on social media. Check out our Patreon. Do all of those wonderful things. And go find these people, starting with...
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, What is Kiss, a.k.a. Nathan Kiss, a.k.a. Ozzy Dukes, a.k.a. Pretty Baby, a.k.a. Yadoosh. You can find me on Twitter at What is Kiss and on Twitch at the same thing, What is Kiss. I'm doing some testing right now to start streaming some video games that you can see in the news. I know. And I'm going to start a new story series using different RPGs and then tell stories that aren't the same storylines and then mess with those RPGs.
Good nerd. Good nerd.
Nerd.
I'm Jackie Dash, Jakidash. Ding. I snapped that.
It's just a lot. There's a lot of latency. It's weird.
It's cool.
Yeah, the
Other
sound effect
dimensions.
happened.
Yeah.
But you just heard it late.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Monday Fun Day is my normal thing. This Monday I had to do lots of overtime, work fun. This Monday coming up, it's a holiday, and stay tuned. There may be pizza in the afternoon.
Ooh.
I am Janine. I am at Admiral Asma on Twitter. And what else? What else did we talk about?
Where can they find
Where
you?
can they find you?
You can find me on on Twitter at Admiral Asma, or you can find me some weekends at Pike Place Market, the Market Theater, doing shows.
Hi. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, although I'm not really doing anything
What's
on
your
Twitch.
name?
I'm Shell Game, and that's where you can find me on Twitter. And I'm the Shell Game on Instagram.
Oh.
And you can go to sarahperforms.com, which will at some point be updated with live shows that will be happening when I am in person in places.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, my turn. I'm Bonsai Baby, or Bonsai Baby on Twitch, Bonsai Baby on Instagram and Twitter, and yes, I do weird things. This is not always a role-playing character. I'm just weird. Happens.
You're great.
Naturally this way.
Yeah.
What? Hi, my name's Random Tuesday. You can find me at Random Tuesday. I have been your GM for this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next week for another episode of Worlds Beyond, or Monday night for Eat, Pray, Kill.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
There was another donation from
Oh.
Candyland Recursion, $15. Hashtag Candybalism.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's
Very
where we'll
nice.
leave you for this evening.
Yeah.
Candybalism.
It's a high point.